Okay. We're here. We're going live. Live show today. Live show today. We're doing live trading today on cryptocurrency. Doing some live trade cryptocurrency. I've got much to do right now. So I'm out here. I'll just be talking and people will be chatting, I guess. And just getting going over, talking about some of the live trading and some of the stuff here that I think they may have an opportunity here to do on crypto. If you guys are bold enough to do some calls and some puts on crypto, you may end up making something off this crazy market that we're in today. These days, you could say, we are in some crazy markets. When it comes to look, I'm not an expert on all this stuff because you guys are gonna say, well, what about this one? What about that one? What about this one? Well, it doesn't work that way. I call it as I see it because I use a lot of different type of indicators and news and everything runs through my head, and then I had to compute it and put it out here, and then I tell you what I think about something. As far as it goes. All right. So right now we're looking at what are we looking at here? We're looking at Shiba. Oh yeah, that one there. Ha ha ha. A lot of people have been looking at that one, and they have a hard time trying to figure it out what to do with that. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I think we got here some. Hang on a second. All right, hang on. We're trying to get some. I'm trying to get my boxes here to straighten out here from my broadcasting. So this is a live show. What are we looking here? Where is this all going today? Well, here it is. What you guys see there on that indicator when you're watching, that is a live indicator actually. It's not a live indicator. Well, it's a live indicator with all the information. Those are actual sales going on right there. Sales and balls and the amounts and all that goody stuff there. But here's the clincher. The stuff that I'm looking at is totally my stuff, and I have actually spent many years producing my own stuff. All right, so that's not going to be available straight to you guys. That's why I always say make a donation if you want me to give you the pick or something like that. Let's see. What I'm looking at here. What are we looking at here? We're looking at right now. I'm going to change over my shorts. You're only going to see that short there for now. All right, let me see what we got here. Look at me. I got a 15-minute short on Shiba. See what I see developing there. Okay, 15-minute short does not look good on Shiba right now, unless you're doing some puts. If you're doing some puts, so you might be okay there. All right. From what I can see, it's running into some resistance there. At the I'm not gonna read all those ditches. It's too many damn ditches. There are too many zeros in front of there. I'll just read the last three numbers, and that's at 991 right now. Is where I have it, and it's going to run into some resistance there. Now, of course, it's been under a lot of pressure lately. Pressure, and sometimes it seems to be going up. I got all this stuff. Hang on a second. Forgot that was open there. Hang on 1 second. I have to shut down one more thing there that I have to put on here. All right, just heading in the right direction. Now I'm doing 4x also on the other side here. Let me turn off my 4x here. That one seems to be going in the proper direction. We just turned that off. You guys can't see what I'm doing on that one, but we're going back over here to the to what I'm looking at in the situation here on Shiba. It's just jumping. Let me see if I can change the chart there because I don't have the one in the proper chart there. I'll change it to Shiba. I think I have it on Shiba. Let me see if I have it on there. All right. I think I have it on Bitcoin. Yeah, it's on Bitcoin. I want to change it over to that Shiba chart. Give me a second to do the changes here and find the old Shiba, whatever they call it. Okay. There it is. I'm gonna find the this is the pair that I'm gonna be looking. I'll be looking at the Shiba, whatever USD. That's what I'm looking at here. It's pretty much the same thing and many of the other stuff here. So now I've jumped over there to the other side there, and we're looking at that chart right now. What's developing there? Now, as you can see, you're looking at a chart that it's different from mine. All right. Now, if you're a newbie on this, a beginner, a unsure person, you should subscribe to the channel and tell me what you want to see some of these stuff going on here, because you might not know, and there's too much talk about all this currency stuff, and it's very confusing to people who are just trying to get into the market, or not sure if they should get out of the market, who got into the market, possibly hearing everybody else talk about it. All right, let me go and look at what's going on in my Shiba chart. Just had it open up here. What I see from my side, from your side, from my side. All right. It's going to run into some resistance there at the. Like I say, I'm only going to read the last three digits on that because I'm not going to read all those zeros. I'm not going to sit there and say 0.00000. I'm not going to go into that. But the last ones I'm seeing there is running into some resistance there. So it's going to be a little harder. Hey, Blue Six, you're on every single stinking channel I have, huh? You're like all over the place, man. Blue Six is a long-term members of all my channels. So, hey, God bless you, Blue Six. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're feeling good. I have not heard about you in a bit, but I hope you've been feeling good. I'm doing right now. I'm out of my politics channel. I'm out of that politics. I'm not doing politics. I'm doing crypto, and we're talking about this crypto stuff happening out here. So right now, I'm looking for those people that don't invest. Let me see. Oh crap! I forgot I was subscribed to this. Oh well, now here you are. You're over here. This is what to the now Blue Six didn't call the channel. Of course, he didn't call it crap. He said, "Oh crap." Is what he said. But I'll be doing a live show here on this for people that are interested in crypto. A lot of people don't have any education on crypto. Don't know where's it going. What's it going to happen to crypto? Or don't know what's something good to get into or get out, or if you should get into puts or calls or whatever. This is what I want to do. I want to try to help out here what I can. I do what I can, but of course I have to put that giant red disclaimer out there, big giant red disclaimer. It's all for entertainment purpose. We got to keep the lawyers at bay. That's what it is. So I just go for what I got. I'll tell you what I feel. That's my years of experience and all kind of stuff, forex markets, options trading, and regular trading, stock trading, and now of course in the last couple of years has been this crypto trading stuff, and so I kind of have I like to look at a lot of business news, different type of investment vehicles, you could say, and crypto is one of those. It's been a very interesting ride in crypto. It's been a very interesting ride. Can I make meds? I can't do that. We can make medical channel. Going back to this thing, we're looking at right now Shiba. A lot of people have got more than about a year ago. A lot of hype started going around this currency in Shiba that it was going to replace Bitcoin, yada yada yada, and a lot of stuff happening. I'm not gonna water this down for you. I don't see the purpose in me watering down or making something look really super bad. You can make money on both ways on crypto. All right, if you got the right broker. All right, if you can make money on both ways on crypto. All right, now there are some. They're out. You gotta watch out for the crypto currency market. Of course, the market is kind of like the wild west right now is what it is. But on crypto, you can make money. No, we're not talking dividends today. We're talking only we're on the crypto. We're on the live crypto trade. We're only talking about crypto. We're not getting into dividends or other stuff there. Come on, Blue Six. Come on, get into the crypto stuff, man. No, we're talking about the crypto. The crypto market. They put a lot of cryptocurrencies every year. A lot of new cryptocurrencies. But a lot of these cryptocurrencies never amount to anything. All right. Then there's some people that put some really big bucks on something new and to promote the living yinging out of it. So they go on all these chat rooms and all these websites and all kind of things to promote something, and it make it sound like this is going to be better than the invention of sliced bread. All right. And they go around, they put all this stuff out, and then people buy into it, and before you know it, they create a community around that one currency. So we got to be really careful here. Now, this currency starts to become a commodity, you could say, a part of a system that is, in some ways, it can be tradable if you know what you're doing. All right. Now, I got my own systems and stuff that I watch, as far as the investment stuff goes. They're some of my indicators and stuff that I have, and other stuff that I put together to determine in which way to go. Like right now, I'm looking at this at this currency. This is the Shiba. Was is the and it is a pair. It is the SHIB slash USD pair. All right, that I'm looking at. Okay, you're looking at that chart right now. That you're on a minute. That's like really a minute chart. What I'm looking at, you don't see what I'm looking at because I don't put that on screen. But from my angle is what I see, and I'm looking at here. Not too thorough about the 15 minutes. I'm looking at 15 minutes seems to be that it's about to go it's about to well, actually 15 minutes it's about to go up. This is the way I'm looking at it. There's a good possibility that in the next, it could be anywhere, it could be from the next 15 minutes to the next 2 hours, you may see the 15 minutes begin to make a move in an upward position, an upward motion here, possibly better rate. It's running into into resistance. All right. It's hard to tell how much a resistance is, but looking at some other stuff that I'm looking at, there's good possibility that it could move up. And I wouldn't shoot in. I would not pass it. Like, I'm not gonna say, oh, it could move up in the next 15 or 1 hour. It could actually even go down even further. But there should be a move on the upward motion, possibly in the next. I'd say maybe 12 hours, something like that, or even a lot less. It all depends. All right, but that should be able. It should be able to go up. But right now we are looking at downward motion, and it is running into the resistance of that chart. All right, so we'll see what's gonna happen there to Shiba, if it's gonna. And looking at, let me see my chart here. It's been like it's been really going down since around well, I mean, you have to go back all the way to January. It's been on a roller coaster ride in a major way. All right, and let's see where we're at here, because I'm trying to get my bearings on here. Wait a minute. I guess you could say around June, because I'm trying to find a good range for it. It's been at a good range at about 1,016. All right, that's give or take a little bit more. All right, and the range, and it was pretty good range there from around June. Around, it's only been a couple of days since it's been on that one range. Whereas, and usually you can tell when something's about to probably make a move. It's been going down, for quite a while, and then all of a sudden it gets into this one little, like, it's almost like a range there, where it's kind of bouncing in that range, all right, in between there, all right, for a couple of days. All right, so right now it is moving into an area of a possible resistance, and you may see it moving in an upward motion here. I'm reading what Ken was talking about. He's talking about Bitcoin. I don't know if Blue Six, if you're an investor on Bitcoin, but I was talking about you. Let me look at that. Let me look at the Bitcoin to see what it's doing here. Hang on one second, as I gotta pull that short for Bitcoin up on my side, not on your side, my side, and we'll see what's going on with the old Bitcoin there. Let me see, Bitcoin. Where are you, Bitcoin? Alright, let me see if I get a Bitcoin here. Okay. Hang on, let me, because I gotta move my shorts around now, because Blue Six was asking about Bitcoin. So let me see where is it at right now on Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now is at 19,440, about 400. Let's just say, because it moves really fast. It can move $30 up and $30 down extremely fast. So it's about 19,400 in that range, you could say, is where it's at. Alright, let me see what I can see on Bitcoin. What in the world is going on there with the old Bitcoin? If I can find it on there. Okay, just looking for the old Bitcoin here. Bitcoin markets. Alright. Yeah, my stuff moves really, really fast. So I have a time. Well, my stuff, I have a hard time keeping up. How fast things move on. Okay. There we go. Let's see if we can get on the old Bitcoiner. I'm gonna go to Coinbase. Okie dokie. Let's see what we got here. I hate when it does that. I know you can't see what I'm doing. Okay, see the price there. Where are we at here? The old Bitcoiner. Bitcoin's got a lot of stuff going on here. Hang on a second. It shows Bitcoin at 19,461. And let me see what we got going here on Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now, I don't got good news for Bitcoin right now. If you're doing some puts on Bitcoin, it's risky. And if you're doing calls, it's risky. Either way, it's kind of risky. But the problem is, I don't see a bottom on Bitcoin right now. I'm not looking at a solid bottom or anything that indicates that there's still a bottom on Bitcoin. It has come down from it's come down from almost 20,000 to the 19,400 now, in the last we can probably say possibly in the last 24 hours, 12 hours, it's come down. All right. So if you were doing puts on there, if you were doing some puts on there, you'll be okay. On Bitcoin, you would have made some money, but now I can see where the level actually is. It's at that 1900 and about 400, 19,000. Sorry, 19,000 about 400, and I see where it's hitting a resistance level there. It seems to be hitting some kind of resistance right there. So traders seem to be holding it off at about 19,400. They seem to be holding off Bitcoin, and we'll see what happens in there. It's been kind of a slow day for some of the trading in the last 24 hours. Not the last 20, in about 12 hours, it's been a little bit slow. Some of the trading in the last 12, 10 hours, it's kind of slowed down on some of the trading. It's picked up trading again, so we got to make sure that we understand we have to look at news. When you see Bitcoin, all of a sudden it starts picking up some trading either in the downward motion or the upward motion. There's usually an indication there's some news out there coming up on that. All right. I don't show any news from my side of any new news. Now you guys might have some valuable stuff out there that I don't have. You have to look at that to see if there's any news come out on that. But it wouldn't be I wouldn't go anywhere if I'm actually going to put some money into that. I wouldn't go either up or down on that on the Bitcoin right now, because it seems to have run into some kind of resistance, but it's holding. It's just holding there. All right. It could be, sometimes you'll see these coins coming down like really sharp, and then all of a sudden they climb back the other way. All right. What you have is somebody trying to manipulate it. All right. So there is right now Bitcoin. The way I'm looking at it, I'm looking at it actually at a 15-minute chart. That's what I'm looking at. You guys are not looking at a 15-minute chart. Let me see where I'm at, because I might not even be on Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm on Bitcoin, but that there you're looking at a minute short. You're not looking at when you're actually listening to me on live here on these crypto trading sessions. Your stuff. What you're looking at live and what I'm looking at are two different things. Okay, you're looking at that is live trading right there. What you're seeing, that is the chart of the day. What you're seeing, but not the charts that I have. All right, that you're looking at. So, could there be any possibility for it? Say last week, $25,000. Yeah. It's a lot of people lost a lot of money in Bitcoin, and they invested a lot of money into Bitcoin and then lost big bucks. It's been coming down it went from as high as I believe the highs of Bitcoin was like around 65,000. And then it hit that peak at around 65,000, 66,000, and it started to move down and down and down. And it was all that, started to do a lot of up and downs, and it was some extremes up and downs. Sometimes it would go up like 4,000 in one day or even more, and down for that. It was like all over the place. And now Bitcoin, you see it where it's just running into some. It's been running a lot. I think what happened is you got panic. What you got is really a lot of young people panicking who are involved in this, and people that have never traded. They don't know what bear markets are. You don't recognize a bear market, you're in some serious trouble. If you're a young person and you've never been through a bear market, you are in panic mode right now because you don't know you don't understand markets that well. You have to experience both bear market and bull markets to get a graph of what you do. All right, and a lot of people nowadays just don't understand bear markets. And right now, the cryptocurrency is being affected by the bear market on the stock market. All right, where people don't know what they're doing. They're looking at the economy going up, and they're seeing the inflation going. Of course, inflation is going up. We're moving. Basically we're on a recession in some ways, you could say. Then you see the situation over there at the White House, where the heads of our country just cannot get a hold of everything of what's going on. Then you see the Federal Reserve, of course, doing their things, and the Federal Reserve, the way they want to, help out the markets is by basically putting you in a doghouse. That's the way. If you're a small investor or you're middle, a middle income, you're going to be hurt by what the moves of the Federal Reserves are. And if you're somebody who wants to expand business, you're in trouble, right? Because as they move rates down, they're not done. They're not done moving rates. They actually want to see where people stop spending money. But what the hell are you talking about, Federal Reserve? You're talking about putting people in the doghouse is what you're talking about. You're talking about unemployment. You're talking about people losing their jobs. You're giving us a medicine that's probably going to do more damage than the cure is supposed to be. Because what the cure is supposed to be, So this is the Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve. The problem with Federal Reserve is their ideology goes back into the 70s and the 80s. These are people who don't understand modern economics the way they should, and there's got to be other ways around it. At all this. 401ks. I'm not sure what 401ks are being hit in a major way all over the place. And they're asking about 401ks, and you're getting in a lot of problems with 401ks with all this downward motion from the markets. And some people got these investors that take their 401ks and invested into some markets, and things crash and things happen. Right now, the energy sector is the one that's been doing kind of okay. Blue 6, can you tell me something? Because I'm not sure, since you're out there. Hang on a second. Because I lost. What happened to? Damn, I am so damn pissed off. Hang on a second, Blue 6. Alright. Can you hear that background music? Because I've been trying to I'm trying to find out how that's coming out okay or not, or repeating or not repeating, or I don't know what the deal is. Just let me know if you can hear it. I don't want to hear what's talking over me, where the music is playing over my voice, but I want to hear what people are still listening to some of that music. Alright, so I have it on there. Not sure if it's on repeat, that's the thing about it. I'll leave it there. Somehow it got shut down. Alright, going back to the, let me go back over here to where I was at. Alright, so we're looking at the, we're right now, like we're doing we're doing a live feed of this on this show. Alright, so we've been talking a little bit about Bitcoin here. I don't know, Bitcoin right now in the last 15 minutes has actually shown me that it's gone down. It continues to go down. It's gone down from about 19,000 and about 430 to 19,390. So is where it is now. So it has come down, but the way and there's no solid resistance right now that I can see. I don't see that's a good I can tell you, there's some good resistance there. I don't see it. Kind of, hang on a second. Got the no, I kind of put that music on. It's way too loud. Here we go. Okay, good. I just want to. It's just kind of like a suggestion of music in the background a little bit. So I don't want the music to overcome the site here. So looking at the Bitcoin now, at what it's doing now, if you guys are out there and you guys see this video later on when it gets into the archives, come back and listen to the live shows and tell me what kind of currency are you interested in, or on the well, not currencies, what crypto are you interested in. And I may, if I have it, if it's part of Coinbase, because I use Coinbase Pro. If it's part of Coinbase Pro, then I can look at it and tell you more or less what I think about it. If it's not part of Coinbase and it's on some one of these sites like Pancake or some weird stuff like that, this new stuff that came out, I'm not going to be able to tell you much about that. I don't follow like the new stuff like, and it's way too many currencies out there, too many new currencies popping out almost every day for me to keep track of all that, and some of them are just plain out scams is what they are. It's usually Coinbase kind of weeds out the scammers, and it's pretty good. You can't guarantee that you're not going to be scammed on any of this stuff, but you can. You could be scammed on anything. So so I get on there, so I kind of follow the stuff that's on Coinbase. Most of the stuff that goes, the pairs that show up on Coinbase, Coinbase on Coinbase Pro. Those are the ones that I follow. Those pairs. Okay, well, sometimes I'll follow them. But going back to this situation here with the Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin right now is at 19. The way I got it is at 19,412 is where it's at. It's kind of holding steady right there at about the 400s level, but it's still, you'll see it at 19,400 and 400, you'll see it jump to 35, another $35 on it, and that will happen in seconds. All right, so it's very volatile right now, but and in an overall, you can see overall picture of Bitcoin, it is sliding down. All right, has been coming down in the last couple of hours. It's been coming down. It was flat for what it seems like a couple hours there, maybe around 6 hours, 5 hours. It was flat. It was just trading in that range at around 20,000, and now it's made a move down to about 19,400. So it has made its move down. All right, so and like I say, and I don't see I see reaching one of them, because I have different indicators for different bottoms. All right, it's not in the, I will call it, is not in the level. If I will put what is the hard bottom, if I was to put it within like you can understand it, and I will put the levels on it. One being like let's say 10 being a very hard bottom. There it is. But 10 being a very hard bottom, which I believe is going to make a turn, and 1 being a very light bottom, like there's almost no bottom, right? All right, I will put it right now like it's past one of the bottoms, so it's not past it right on it. It will be like at the around the 7 range. All right, at a hard bottom, you could say. All right, so there's potential. There's like a 40% chance that it could turn. All right, I will give it maybe not 40%, probably even more. I will say not 40%. I will say 60%, because I'm looking the other way. 60% turn upwards. That's what I'm looking at here, happening possibly today sometime. All right, on that bottom. That bottom it can be pretty strong. The one that I have on here. You don't see the indicator for that. You don't see it because, like I say, I keep my indicators to myself. All right. But it is at that bottom. It's not the strong indicator bottom that I would like to see. Usually I like to see a double indicator bottom. All right, and I'm not seeing a double indicator bottom here. All right, I'm seeing a light bottom on here, and it could blow through that bottom. All right. Right now it's gone down. Bitcoin now is around 19,297. So it's dropped another 100 there, and it's hitting the bottom. All right, of these. And now what I mean about the bottom is hitting resistance. All right, it's hitting that resistant bottom, you could say, and it's just in that area. All right, and I'm trying to see if I can get some kind of a stronger move. Now I do have other stuff that indicate to me that there's a movement. There's going to be a move to the upwards. There's going to be an upward swing here. All right. And this could come in possibly in the next maybe in the next around 24 hours. It could take longer, depending on if there's any kind of wild news that's come out on Bitcoin. All right, but there is another, because like I say, I have there's several bottoms that I work for when it comes to bottoms, and also when it comes to the what you could say support levels and resistance levels. Right now, the support level, okay, that I'm looking at here, uh, it's around 19,400. It's what I'm looking at that where is that, but it continues to shoot through it. All right, it's going down further, so we may see something in the next, you could say in the next couple of hours where it starts to turn. All right. So people are gonna. I think people. What it is? People are now. They see these because it was a rapid drop there. There was a drop. I would say. Let me see where if I can estimate the drop here for you guys. All right. There was a drop right now. A very short drop. You could say within in a 15-minute time frame. All right, 15. I was not say 15 minutes. I will say maybe like around 30-minute time frame. There was a drop around $600. All right, which and like I said, it's been in that area about $20,000, and then all of a sudden there was this drop. There was just a drop, like about $600 movement. All right, and now it's just level off there at about 19,400, and it's kind of shifting between 19,400 to 19,300, 200. It's in that area, it's shifting back and forth on there. So it's an indication that it's reaching some kind of a bottom, is what it is on that. All right, if you're on Bitcoin. All right, so you may be looking at some kind of upward movement there. This is the thing about investing. When you do invest in all this, you want to be able to say, well, if it's gone down now, do I have an opportunity to make some money on this? So could there be an opportunity right now at about 19,293, which is what I'm looking at, actually exactly what I'm reading off the chart right now. That's a live cult. Could there be an opportunity on up? It could. All right. There's like two different ones that are showing there. It is hit a support level. All right. It's hit this one support level. All right. And there's two of them are showing that to me. All right. So there could be a possibility. There could be a movement up. The problem is with these kind of support level, it could blow through them a little bit more, and nothing's guaranteed. All right. I mean, from my point of view, there is a support level there, a possibility within the next 12 hours or even shorter that you're going to start seeing a movement upwards on Bitcoin. So we may see that movement coming up here. Not too long from now, we may see it. If there's, I gotta say, I'm not sure if any news has broken on Bitcoin. That is a bit of a drop there, compared to the last. I can say compared to the last couple of sessions, you could say it's been one of those significant drops there. Okay, it's been riding on the 20,000 for a while now. It's been there on that between you could say 19,700 no less or more, you could say, to around 20,000 and something, you could say. It's in that area, it's in that range. But then all of a sudden you see this drop today. You'll see this kind of a sharp drop there. It's a Bitcoin getting ready for another big drop. It's this just preparing you. Hang on a second, make this. Got my throat kind of dry here. So it's preparing for another drop here. It's a good possibility. It could be. It could also be getting. Sometimes like these things are like a rubber band. You can only go back so much, and then it shoots forward, or you can only go forward so much, and it shoots back. It runs that way. That's the way a lot of stuff. It kind of runs out of energy. All right. And there's a lot of nervous investors out there. Yeah, and the stock market wasn't that bad today. The Dow Jones was up like around, I believe it was like around 82. I believe, in the Nasdaq was up also. So, but it was a lot. It's been a lot of shakiness in the Dow Jones and the Bitcoin. It wasn't like that before. It wasn't really, didn't care much about what was going on too much in the Dow. But the problem is that for around, I think now is like, oh, we're like in the 10th week now of a bear market. You know, people are getting nervous no matter what the heck you're investing in, and they're looking at the Dow Jones, and they're looking at the stock market as an indicator on which direction the economy is going. And then of course you got the Federal Reserve coming up with all this hike rate. All right, so they're kind of they're worried now. Before they were not paying too much attention to this. Now they're beginning to pay attention to all the other markets besides the crypto market. The crypto market was pretty much on its own doing their stuff, but the crypto market is now kind of getting tied to it's getting more, you could say, tied into whatever the Dow market does. All right, whatever the you could say the mainstream markets do, and that is basically the Dow market, Nasdaq, and all these other markets are doing, and the S&P 500. All right, so they're all kind of tied into that right now. But we're maybe seeing something here going on with Bitcoin now that it reached this 19,000 and around 300. In a rapid way, because it came down pretty fast, and we may see there, maybe today we may see an upward trend there. It's more of a short term. It will be more like short term trade, if anything. And to put in money, make something on it, and get out. Because you don't know where it's going to stabilize. You don't know where Bitcoin's going to eventually kind of stable off. Hang on. All right, so we got here. We got Blue 6X. He was asking about people. Which is the best digital currency? Blue 6 is asking me, for those people who are not looking at the chat room, but Blue 6 asked me, what's the best currency for people that don't have money? There's a couple of currency out there. It's hard to tell on cryptocurrency what's the best, because so many cryptocurrencies follow whatever Bitcoin. Bitcoin is as you could say, is the leader of the band. All right, wherever it goes, that's what they follow. So if Bitcoin's doing good, the little currencies are doing good. And if Bitcoin starts having a bad day, everything else goes down with it. And that's what it is. It's what people don't understand. And it's Bitcoin. That's what I don't like about cryptocurrency. I never like stock markets. It's a little different. You got sectors, and a certain sector, the energy sector, could be up, and then the service sector could be down. But it doesn't mean it actually weighs on the other one. It could actually be independent, and you can actually jump from one sector to the other. Now on cryptocurrency, it's basically one big sector. All right. So when it goes down, it goes all down in one group for the most part. There are some currencies in the cryptocurrencies, where it will go up. Where some currencies will, Bitcoin's going down, and some of the other, and then all of a sudden you see this other currency going up. All right, but for the most part, they follow each other. All right, but the thing about small currencies or currencies that people can afford, you have to get into something that is kind of known to people, something that's known, and you should look at it for maybe a couple weeks before you invest in it to see how it performs next to Bitcoin. All right. Now, Bitcoin is affordable really to anybody if you think about it, because they're not going to sell you. They're not. If you're going to buy Bitcoin, you're not going to pay $19,000 for Bitcoin. All right. You're not going to. That's not the way. You can buy very micro pieces of Bitcoin. You can buy it almost pennies. All right. And then you can still make some money on it. So. It doesn't work that way. You can invest in pretty much on all of it. Using any of these platforms out there, you can make money on Bitcoin. The thing about it, it's the calls and puts. If you got a platform there that offers puts where you're able to basically bid against Bitcoin, and you see Bitcoin dropping, then you may be able to make some money on Bitcoin. All right. And that is, you're betting on that it's going to go down. is very risky because you could have a Martian call. Usually those accounts are based on some kind of margin. You have to have some kind of deposit, and sometimes in those kind of accounts. Now there may be out there some of them that you don't require to have these deposit, but it is kind of risky. All right, and you could lose your entire investment. All right, when you invest on something like Bitcoin on a call, more like not a call, but more like just straight out, then it could go down, it could go up, but it's a little bit less riskier than if you put it into a put call. All right, so but there's money to be made on markets that's going down right now. Bear markets can make you money if you have some option calls, not option call, put calls, option puts. You can make some money on bear markets. All right, because you can look at companies who are constantly going down the last couple of weeks, and you could have made some money on there. All right, as long as you got an active a company that has a good volume of trades and contracts that you're getting into, you can make some good. You can probably make good some profit on there. If you're going to go and try to make calls or make money on the market now, the way it's a bear market, and you're betting on calls, you really gonna have to time it to get it right. You really, because you know the calls expire and they degrade as time goes on. So you really gotta have a good idea what you're gonna do, and it may be a short-term call or something like that. You need to get in and get out. I pay attention to some of the news coming out from these companies. All right, so putting money into all this stuff, cryptocurrencies or options or forex market. Forex market right now is all over the place. Forex market, for years I follow it, and it can be quite shaky. The problem is forex markets are hard to figure out because of the manipulation behind it, and it's not because that the people cannot figure out forex. If forex market was not as heavy manipulated, all right, you can maybe get some good education on you can learn how to trade and make some money off it. But it is so heavily manipulated by countries and banks, and they could drop it at any second. Any kind of the currencies, any kind of the world's currencies, they can drop it at any time or raise it at any time. And forex market is usually trade on calls and puts. You could say in some ways you can trade it up or you can trade it down. That's mostly the way the forex market works. But it's extremely hard to figure out many times, and they play a lot of games with it. And remember, they got all the data that you're processing. Every data that's being processed, most of the data being processed on the world stage when it comes to forex, they have all that data, so they know what the people around the entire world are buying and selling, and how many people are putting limit calls or limit orders, you could say, and they know all the data, so they have a huge advantage over the person. These bankers have a huge advantage over anybody involved in forex market. All right, and they manipulate it up and down. They pump the market up and they drop the market really up and down all day long. They do it you can say all year long. They're pulling this stunt and they're making tons of money. And all they got and also because a lot of these are state run, some of these are state run like China, they can put out news that manipulates the market. All right, and nobody's going to come and investigate them or put them behind bars for manipulating forex markets. They can do this, and you're out in the cold. All right, so it's a little hard. Forex markets can be hard, can cost you a lot of money, a lot of damage. All right, cryptocurrencies can make you money. Sometimes can make you money if the conditions are still volatile, but they're normal volatility. You can say where it's not crashing one way or the other. It's not going up. I mean, extremely fast one way or the going and you maybe want to go and play it both ways. For the most part, people get into these markets like the cryptocurrency, the non-professional, you could say the common person, and they want to see it go up because that's what they're getting into. They don't understand how to put how to invest in it if it goes down or something like that. They don't still understand. They're not able to get those accounts, and it takes money. Sometimes these brokers or you could say trading companies online, they require you to put big giant margins to trade puts on crypto or any other thing. So they might not have that. They might not have that kind of money and all the skills to do it. So they're basically just buying and hoping it goes up. And here we are now in a bear market. We are in a official bear market. Okay, it's been declared that this is an official bear market. It was about a week and a half ago they declared that. All right, now everybody knows by looking, people like me looking at the markets in the last couple of weeks, we know that we're in a bear market. We don't need that. Oh, it's got to be official. Look at the S&P 500. It fell under this. Now it's an official bear market. Oh, yeah, right. We knew about that. It was in a bear market. All right. When you see nothing happening for weeks on end, you don't see the market going up. You see it going down. Then you know you definitely are in a bear market. Well, you can't say you're in a correction. This is like total meltdown. Some of these stocks, but some of these stocks have good value, and I can see down the road where it may actually may be an opportunity for some people to buy some stuff here, and for long-term investment. All right, but some of these stocks, I think, in the stock market may fall and may not recover. All right, because they were overvalued for a long time. All right, so and they were riding on the coattails of Amazon and Tesla and all these other big companies. They were making tons. They were riding on those coattails, and their stocks were going along with the ride, for the ride, you could say. But those companies may not be nowhere near that. All right, what they should be, people shouldn't be paying nowhere near that money for some of those stocks. All right, so in some ways it is kind of like correction, you could say. The market goes up, and now you see where we have this bear market as a hit. Is it, a lot of people, is it hitting bottom right now? Hang on a second, because I'm reading something here. Music. I think from what I can stand here is Blue Six is asking, can he hold on the stock market for stocks, you could say, for months or years? It all depends on the company. All right, if you go back and you look at like Google, all right, or Facebook or these kind of companies, when they first started out, the value compared to now. And you see where they're and Amazon was you could say you could have bought it extremely cheap at one time, and now you see where the price of Amazon is at. All right, it doesn't mean that these companies last forever. All right, that this goes on forever. You may get to a point where there might be some kind of, you may invest into some kind of company, and then it may do good for a decade, or 7 years, or 5 years. I mean, it's doing great and it's going up, and you're making some money off this thing. All right, and you're planning for your retirement. All of a sudden, you see something new came out that competes against the company, or the company suffers some kind of financial blow or something, and everything that you thought you were going to get, you didn't get. All right, it went, it started to go down. All right, or new rules or regulations come out that has affected the company or the economics around the world change and somehow have an impact on that company. So it's not guaranteed. I'm looking at some of the automobile companies, and it's amazing how their stocks have fallen. All right, stocks that had some value to them at one time, a long time ago. Compared to the money they're paying a long time ago, it was valuable. Now they lost a lot of value. All right. And oil stocks, energy sector, the energy sector now is beginning to do good, but this is a sector that's suffered for quite a while. All right, it wasn't doing all that great, and it's picked up because the price of oil has gone up. So a lot of the energy sector is doing good now. Service sector, it comes and goes, and other sectors, the tech sector also comes and goes. Tech sector was doing extremely good for a very long time. They were making tons of money, and it was going up all over the place. And now they've been getting some blows this year, and they have been, up and down for quite a while now. So people don't know, should we invest in tech, or should we invest in energy sector or the service sector or some other sector? And that's a good thing. Like I said, it's a good thing about when you compare crypto and you compare the stock market. one's got sectors that may not affect the other sector. Now, in a bear market, and a deep bear market like we're in right now, pretty much it's across the board. All right. But in a normal, you could say, market condition where you still have volatility, but it could be like you could say normal economics out there. You could say not too much of the inflation or deflation or whatever you want. Just kind of like a normal market. You could then pick sectors. There will always be some kind of sector outperforming, doing better than another sector that you can invest some money and make some money. And but nowadays it's going to be very hard to become long-term investors on a lot of this stuff out there. All right, because the world's geopolitics have a lot of effect on businesses nowadays, and and a lot of companies are moving all their stuff all over the place, you could say. And it's hard for the common person to say, I'm going to invest in a certain company for long term, because the company could have gone up in hype and you invested the wrong time, and all of a sudden there's some kind of a bear market and it starts to crash, and you'll never recover back that investment. It may never happen within your lifetime. That's the bad news about the entire thing. What Blue Six asking me here again? I think it's looking at Beyond. Are you looking at Bed and Beyond or something like that? Yeah, I know Bed, whatever, Bed Bath and Beyond, whatever. They have suffered a major blow. All right, now, I think a lot of that's been God getting back to them. All right, Mike the Pillow Guy was involved in that company. He had he was selling his pillows on there, and Mike the Pillow Guy has been heavily involved in trying to find out what happened in the elections. All right, so and they actually took his product off their company shelves, and I see the kind of people that go to this bed and beyond or whatever. And the people that go there are a lot of just these, you could say, family type of people. They look for pillows and items from the bed, and these are like their customer base. And they the Bed and Beyond, what they really did is slap the crap out of their customers, and their customers told them to go screw themselves off. That's what's basically happening to Bed and Beyond now. All right, and they have suffered. They should have never gone into the political arena. I will tell a lot of these companies, stay out of the political arena. Don't let your companies get suckered into anything politics. You have a product to sell, you sell your product to whoever in the heck wants to buy it, no matter what their political opinion is. And so whatever is the best product that people are looking for, you sell it. But there's a bunch of moron companies out there. They're now selling products based on their political beliefs and what they believe their customers should be believing on, and then they basically screw up a lot of other people who don't believe in their system. It doesn't believe in them. You just sell a product and stay out of politics as much as you can. That's what these companies got to do. All right. Don't get into politics. You just go and sell your product. All right, that's what they got to do, and they won't run into the problems that you see now. They're happening in Bed and Beyond or whatever, where they ran into this problem. All right, and this could actually hurt them in a major way. There's even talk that Bed and Beyond was turning off their air conditionings in some of the stores at certain times because they couldn't even pay for the light. I mean, you're looking at I think they said I believe, I'm not sure 100%, but I believe I think Bank of America is the one that where they got their money from, and it backs them up with loans and all this kind of stuff, and even them are like, well, so that's getting bad there for companies like that. You like I say, stay out of politics and all this stuff. You look at cryptocurrencies now, and cryptocurrencies have internationally have all become part of politics. All right, where China's doing their own little thing about cryptocurrencies and so on. Let me go look at what I was looking at right now. We're looking at Bitcoin here. And Bitcoin is kind of, see what I told you this was going to happen, because I told you At least I got two indicators I have. Okay, these are not the ones you're going to have. All right. They're telling me this. They have hit stabilize. They may stabilize and may show there is a support level at around 19,300 and something, you could say. And that's what it looks like right now. Bitcoin is hitting a support level. It's not out of the woodworks. I don't see it out of the woodworks because I have other stuff that I'm looking at that doesn't show it completely out of the woodworks. All right, but Bitcoin may be getting ready now, possibly to make a turn. It may be a short turn, all right, on the upward motion here, and start moving back up again. I'm not sure if it's going to move back up to the 20,000 range, but it may move up for a short investment here on Bitcoin. You might get in, and, because like I said, I'm seeing a resistance level there on some of my stuff. I see a resistance level, even though I got a couple other ones that do not show that resistance. All right, and I'm not totally happy about the resistance. Not a hardcore resistance the way I look at it. Not like I will call it category 10 resistance. It's a light resistance, more like a category 6 or 5, you could say, in the middle there. 1 being like the worst resistance, was nothing almost, and 10 being a high. It's not up in the 10s right now. So it's showing what I'm seeing now in the last, I guess in the last 15 minutes, less than the last 15 minutes, I'm showing there is a resistance there on Bitcoin. Not a resistance, a support level building up at around 19,400 and 300. It seems to be a support level there building up on Bitcoin. Let me look at it a little closer, see what it's doing here. All right. So there could be a turn there on it. All right. On that coming up pretty soon. On there, you're not going to see it pretty much on that chart. Let me see if that's sharp, because that chart was running. Now I don't see it running. I hate when I have separate charts, and one decides to start screwing around. All right. Yeah. Let me see, because it should have been running. Hang on a second. Oh man, I must have shut down. This other thing I must have shut down, and that's why that chart's not running. Yeah. Hang on, let me see if I can get it to go again. Let's see if it loads up again, because it was running a while ago and then it stopped running. There it is. I think it's back up again. Yeah, let me move this. I have a computer that does not handle this stuff well. Alright. Alright, so I put that back on down there. See if it goes now. Alright. Let's see. It clowns around. Alright, I think it's up and running now. Alright, so going back to the and the music, it's really getting on my nerves, because it's supposed to be running in the background, and for whatever reason today decided to play games. Yeah, I was like, yeah, starts to play some games there. Let me see. Beyond Meats is a food company. I don't know. I was looking at actually I was looking at Bed and Beyond is what I'm looking at, which has had a crisis in the last 24 hours. I don't know about that one, Beyond Meat. I don't know much about that, because Bed and Beyond had problems because of what happened with one of their biggest selling products was from Mike the Pillow Guy, and they decided to play politics with that, and then they ran into a problem. All right, with Bed and Beyond. So, well, now we'll see what happens there with that. Hang on a second. I got this music going on. I'm not sure if it's going to stay on or what the deal's going to happen. So that's been going on there. I'm looking at my Bitcoin here and see where we're at. I got the Bitcoin. I can see the Bitcoin now. Let me look at here what Bitcoin may be doing here. And it looks like it's going to possibly make a move going up. There are some indication that they will make a move up. All right, now I don't know how much of a move it's going to make up. But there are some indications that it's going to make some kind of a move on an upward motion here. So make some money for somebody, maybe. So looking at a lot of this crypto stuff, you got to hang in there for cryptos. And I mean, hang in. I'm not saying that you can hang in there all the time for crypto. We don't know what the market's going to be. That's the problem. It's all speculation. You don't know what the market on crypto is going to be 5 years from now. You have no idea. All right. Then of course you hear all these countries around the world talking about possibly banning crypto. Some are actually talking about using crypto as their own currency. Some are using crypto. It seems like their own currency. But you're like, what the heck? Which way do I go on this crypto thing? And it's very hard. This is the most. I think crypto is possibly the most volatile market right now in anything. It's the most shaky investment anybody can do is get into crypto. All right. When it was going sky high and it seems like nothing was going to stop it, yeah, people will start making some money if you got in there low. But after that, once they got to that 65,000, ooh, and it's around 65, 66,000, I think it was the highest it went. And then it took the big dive. It started to take a dive, and then people got panicky. And then, of course, you had a lot of people that were not crypto investors. They're not investors. They're not. They got into this. They got into investing because of crypto, but they were not. They were not investors in forex. They were not investors in option or stock market or anything. They just got into investing because they seen everybody else getting into crypto. All right, so they didn't understand the dynamics of investing into these kind of systems. That there will be up days and there will be down days, and there could be bear markets and there could be bull markets, And a lot of people were investing in crypto when it was a bull market. Now it's a bear with two legs, you could say. It's really falling apart. All right. And then, you invest in stuff, you say, oh, I'm going to take I'm going to take a couple of thousand here, I'm going to throw it into Bitcoin and hope for the best, And some people say, well, if I lose it, I lose it. But some people cannot afford to lose. Some people actually, I think some people literally have sold a farm to invest in some of these coins. All right, because of all the hype surrounding these coins. And there was talk, I remember about a year ago or more, there was talk about Bitcoin hitting 100,000, and that was just the beginning of the talk. I heard that was hearing people, they were talking about Bitcoins possibly hitting 1 million for one Bitcoin. And they were really this exaggeration of what the potential of Bitcoin could have been. And every time I'm thinking about this, I go, you guys are attracting so much of the wrong attention. You're attracting tons of attention from the super bankers. And especially the governments around the world, they have been wanting to go to a digital currency. You're attracting really, really super bad attention with that kind of talk. And of course, it started to happen. You see China over there basically getting rid of Bitcoin and replacing it and want to introduce their own digital currencies. And it was El Salvador, the one that officially took it as a currency. But El Salvador now, think about it. If you're now in El Salvador and your money is worth half of what it used to be. Oh, not even that. It's even lower than that. If El Salvador got into that when Bitcoin was I believe it was it's still in around 50,000. All right, and look where it's at now. So it's less than half. That's what your money's worth now in El Salvador. So was that a good move by the president of El Salvador to get his currencies, trade all his country's currency and say we're going to be using Bitcoin? Maybe not. That may not have been a good move for El Salvador. All right, because look at the value that is now, and it may not still have bottom to it. And could it come back? Could Bitcoin actually make a comeback? It could make a comeback, depending on politics, I guess you can say. It depends on politics, man. Not even too much on economic, mostly on how countries in the world, around the world, look at Bitcoin. The problem is too many countries around the world see uh, these cryptocurrency as a way for them to, as a beta test for their own digital currency in some ways. All right, and they don't want to put out digital currencies and have something like Bitcoin competing against them. All right, so I hate to be a pessimist on Bitcoin, but it doesn't look too bright for them, for Bitcoin. It really, tell you the truth, I don't see it. I don't know. I don't see it happening too much for Bitcoin. And maybe, who knows? Maybe it'll stabilize at around where it's at right now, and be there for a couple of years. All right. But a long-term future for Bitcoin, not because, I have to bring out this word. Then a lot of people think it's all conspiracy. Illuminati, super banks, world government, and globalists are possibly never going to allow that to happen. All right. To allow this currency to manipulate or be used as the world government. Right now, actually, not too long ago, like in about last week, I think it was, a couple of days ago, the Prime Minister of UK, Boris Johnson, has been talking about bringing their world currency, bringing up a kind of a world digital currency. Now we all know that. We all know that they've been talking about a world currency. I don't think there will be a world currency, like a one world currency. There may be a world currency, something labeled world currency, but not to replace all currency. One that you can use it in every country without exchanges, or without having to go through an exchange. That you can use, it will be valued at a certain rate, and then you can cross any border without having to go to an exchange, because that will be the value at it. Where in the heck you're at, that's the value of that currency. All right, and it's like a Bitcoin, but internationally a world currency. All right, but not to replace the dollar or replace the euro, or replace the Swiss or any other currency, English pound, anything. It will be more like a world currency you're able to obtain, but those other currencies will continue to be part of the economics, and it could compete between. It basically is like introducing another euro. All right, is what the way I look at it. It'd be like somebody introducing another euro to the system. All right, and except it would be called the world currency. But it won't be there to replace other currencies, or it would be more like to compete. The problem is the forex markets are making too much money for the bankers. I mean, that is the most easiest manipulation of a wealth, you could say, is the forex markets. All right, and all entire countries can manipulate their currencies through the forex markets. All right, and all they got to do is either put up good news or bad news, or play around with their banks, with the forex markets, and they're making a killing on it because they're making money on both directions. Either direction, they could make money on the forex markets. All right, so this is pretty much of a cash cow for the bankers. So they're not going to have a world currency replace all other currencies, because you wouldn't be able to have a forex market. You'll end up closing down the forex market, and this is what they have been using now for decades and decades as a form of revenue, making revenue for their countries, making money for their country. All this manipulation, and because it's only regulated by certain people, but you can never investigate. It's like cops investigating cops. You can never. There's the same people, the same bankers are supposed to regulate. It's not going to regulate none of that. So they're making tons of money. So even if you introduce a world currency tomorrow, it's not going to put the forex market out of business. All right, and too many super banks are not going to want that, because if you had one world currency there, then you don't have a forex market, and you could only have what you have. You have nothing to compare with it. You can say and there's no market for that. There's no money. There's nobody investing. It's just people just just using it as something to exchange goods for. All right, and the forex market is a cash cow for bankers. It is a super. I wish I had. I wish I knew what these bankers were going to do tomorrow. Let's say with the euro or with the U.S. dollar, because they're manipulating it 24/7. All right, and that's why so many investors in forex. There's an estimate of around 99% of all investors in the forex will lose their money. 99%. All right, that's because you can't figure it out. So even if you made money in the forex market, if you stay there, you're going to lose it. Eventually, the deal will go the other way because at one day you think you have the dollar figured out, and you're betting that the dollar is going to go up, and these people will have all the data globally using all these supercomputers that they have. They have all the data on every individual person betting in the forex market, putting money in the forex market. So they know how many puts, how many calls, how many people are betting it going up or down, and at any moment they can drop it and just manipulate the market and make a ton of money off it. All right, and basically it's just a way for them to steal little people's money because the big billionaires, they know which direction the forex market's going to take because they have all the insider, you could say trade, you could say they have all the connections with the super banks. All right, and they're the ones manipulating these currency markets. That's why you see the currencies never go into a total 100% meltdown where the currency got totally devaluated, went to zilch. No, there's like around five, 6 different pairs of forex market. All they will do is they'll play them up and down. So the best thing that the investor can do is try to time bankers. When do they think the bankers are going to make their move to bring down a currency or move it up? Or that one country, when are they going to put out bad news or good news to move their currencies up and down? And a lot of that news will be tied to economics in that country. That's the way they move their currencies up and down. But it's probably the most manipulated market there is the forex market. All right, and it's very hard for the common person to figure it out. The stock market is a little different because they don't have all the CEOs in their back pocket. But even that's got some manipulation, inside trading, and more. I think the more decades that go by, the more these politicians are involved in inside trading when it comes to the stock market. China is all inside trading. If you look at China stock market, that's all inside trading by the Communist Party of China. All right, the Politburo. That's all they do is inside trade on that stock market of China. So they pump it up and they pump it down. And then foreign investors lose their money in China. All right, not knowing the day they're going to pump it down. And they'll pull any kind of stunt to take that money off the table and stick it into their pockets. And they inflate the numbers of the GDP. They inflate the numbers of the returns of all those companies. All right, to either pump the company up and pump it down. Whoever invests in China is really like, man, you might have to just go to Las Vegas and put it all on black or on red. You probably have better luck than investing in China. That's a manipulated market. Some of my people are rejecting they trust more in cash. You gotta have a form of cash. Blue Six was saying that some of the people are rejecting, I guess, Bitcoin, and they rather have some cash. I guess. I think what it is a lot of people are beginning to wake up to Bitcoin. All right, what is it you have? You have a currency that you're making money off a currency. You basically are. It's not like a dollar. It's not like the euro, which you can go into anywhere and just about use it to trade for something, which is not a currency. And what you see it's not. A lot of expert economics people don't see Bitcoin as something that is going to get out of that box where it's at. Where it's only used to trade other currencies, the same cryptocurrencies. One cryptocurrency is changed for another cryptocurrency, on and on. So that's a lot of people have that thing about it. It's like, is it ever going to get out of the box where it becomes like a mainstream currency like the dollar the euro, where you can go to any store and use your currency to check in and check out. All right, to buy whatever you want. Buy something, get out, whatever. It just doesn't. It doesn't seem to be going in that. It looks like it was going to go in that direction, but as soon as it looked like it was going to become that kind of currency where you could go and buy goods, and there's some promotion behind it to get companies to use cryptocurrencies to allow people to buy their goods with cryptocurrency, you've seen the bankers start making their moves, and you've seen countries start making their moves against Bitcoin because it's going to step on all over them. They're not going to want the people having the power of currency, of the currencies, and then dictating how high or how low a currency, and that all coming from the people making the decision. The people of the world. No, they're not going to lose that power. So they're going to trash it. They're going to find a way to screw it up or take control of it. So right now, I see a lot of cryptocurrencies now. I think a lot of these, like Bitcoin, this is not under the control it used to be at. All right, and a lot of these bankers jumped in it, but I think they jumped in it to make some big bucks and then bail out. And some of the stuff that you're seeing here, possibly with this money going up and down with Bitcoin, you may see some of the big, you call them whales, but I don't think you can call those people whales anymore. You have to call them institutions. Institution like banks who have invested in the last couple of years to Bitcoin because of all the hype moving up. And they're the ones who basically have been dumping a lot of stuff, making their money. All right, they got in when it was low and they sold when it was high. This is the way it goes. All right, so you might see some institutions, but you see there on the, if you're looking at the trade bars there, you see that movement of that trade. You're looking at money being exchanged there. All right, when you look at that green, that's money being exchanged. That's money being sold. That's crypto being sold. That's the amount that's being sold. That's live. That's not a video playing over and over, some kind of a loop. That's actually what's happening. All right. There are sales being made and trades being made. You'll be amazed how the amount of stuff that they're buying. All right. When it comes to crypto, it's non-stop exchange, extremely fast, going on crypto. Right now, I see crypto balancing. What I'm seeing right now on my chart, not the chart you're looking at, my chart. I'm looking at Bitcoin now has stabilized at around 19,400. And like I said, it's hitting some kind of a bottom. I'm not in a solid bottom right now. I'm not looking at a solid bottom on Bitcoin right now. I'm looking at a level, you could say level 5 bottom, which is this medium bottom. It's not a solid bottom like a level 10 bottom. All right. So it's at about a level 5 bottom right now. All right, which could go in any direction. All right. But it also the volume has dropped on it. All right, so it's backed off on volume, and it's level off at about 19,400. All right, and it's fluctuating between 19,000 and about 290 to about 19,430. It's been fluctuating in there, so it's kind of right now. Is it going to make a move going to the top? Hard to tell right now what's it going to do. I will say you'll need to hold. If you're just going to do investment on Bitcoin, you could say on a call, or a long term, you could say, and you're not going to shorten Bitcoin, you probably will hold on here before you go long on it. All right, because it's not on the solid ground right now. It's not in a solid solid ground, you could say, on here. It seems to be just holding there to see what comes next. That's what it looks like. The support is, to me, the support right now is not that strong at that level. There's been a couple, we're now in the 15-minute chart. In the last, you could say, around the last about the last 4 15-minute charts, it's hold off level there. It's leveled off at about 19,400. It's kind of level off there. And that's where it's holding at. All right. and then maybe you may see a change coming up here soon. Which you may, if you want to do a long, get in there long, but it's still going to be, you get in and you get out. It's going to be hit and run. All right, make some money, get yourself a couple of dollars, possibly get out because it could change at any time. I will see it changing when it comes. You won't be able to see it from what I'm running there on the screen for you because you're not seeing what I got because those shorts are the ones my shorts are my own private shorts. I don't share them. All right, but I will talk to you what I see, what I'm seeing now. And I see the support level is holding right now at about 19,370, 19,390 around there. It's holding at that support level. And I see a bottom. My system is showing my indicators that I put together are showing that it's beginning to hit a resistance at that level, which is good if you're planning to get into the market and make some money on the make a long call, you can say on there. Short calls, of course, that's been coming. That's been happening all week. All right, on these short calls. So we'll see what's it going to do now in the next hour, I guess, in which direction it's going to head. All right. It's not. I wouldn't. Me personally, I will not get into it. Even though the level, it looks like it's stabilized. I'll have to wait for I have like about a couple more other indicators that will have to show me that it's going to move up. It's going to make a move. It's going to start moving up. And I wouldn't get in now until I see those other indicators trying to, you could say, trying to move upwards. You could say. So we'll see what happens there. Hey, what's going on? We got somebody else joining us here. Jan, let me see. Should I buy? Oh, okay. I'll look at that. Let me look at Epsilon, and I'll let you know. Let me go. Let me look at it for you. Somebody's asking about Epsilon here. Afravian. I can never pronounce that freaking name, but I know what you're looking for. I'm gonna look, and I'll let you know. Just give me a second so I can pull up my stuff here. All right. And I'll give you an idea what I think about it. Alright, let me see where we're at here. No. You're saying about buying it right now? No, I would not buy it right now. I mean, personally, I wouldn't buy it. I will hold off still. You may hold off for the next hour on this, on Epsilon, on Ethereum. It's still not what I see. It's basically riding on Bitcoin. It's whatever Bitcoin's doing, it's doing. All right. And I know there's some people. Sometimes you'll see it move a little better than Bitcoin, but there are a lot of times it's still riding. It's right now like Bitcoin and both of them. I wouldn't move on that right now. You may still see a drop there in the next hour or two on Bitcoin, and that will begin to affect Ethereum. So you may have to hold back a little bit longer. I'm looking for my solid ground. I don't see solid ground yet. I have not seen that in the last. It will be like in the last 6 hours. I don't see the solid ground that I'm looking for to make a call, a long call on Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of those. Right now, you don't have to hold back and wait because there is right now. I see there's beginning to hit a support level. Ethereum it's at a support level at about $1,056. All right, it's around that support level. It has dropped for the day around 42%, so it has come down. But if you hang in there if you're going to go, if I'm not sure what you're planning on doing. And I'm not your financial advisor, but if you're going to go long on it, you may want to wait a little longer before you jump into it. All right, because it's iffy right now, and there's not a lot of volume right now on it. The volume is beginning to drop on it, so we're going to have to wait there and see what happens on there. Oh, you're my 6th subscriber. Okay, that's good. I haven't been out here. I have not done my Bitcoin channel for very since I got it, and then I did some stuff on it, and I didn't go back on it. Now, what I'm thinking of doing is doing the live broadcast of the bitcoins and currencies, and maybe do some option trading and some forex trading, because I can still do some forex trading, but I don't like doing forex trading because it's too volatile. But some options and different things, maybe do some of that. But I'm just waiting to see what happens down the road, and if I start getting some kind of support for this. For this kind of stuff, because I've been doing my other channels, and I have my little situation developing those channels. So I'm over here, and there's always people there. I think there's a lot of new people, a lot of people that are not true investors, and they get a lot. I'm not here to water down currencies. Either would it be in the option market, stock markets, or currencies, or cryptocurrency. Whatever your investment vehicle is at, and if I'm doing it out here as a live show, I'm not here to water down something or hype something up. I'm just to tell you what I see from my side, from my years of experience and my own type of, you could say, indicators that I've put together. I'll tell you what I think about it and what direction it may be heading. Like today at the beginning of the show, Bitcoin was going down, but then I told you from the beginning. I see some resistance beginning, not resistance, a support level beginning to build, and it wasn't built at that point. At that point in time when I did my show, it wasn't there. All right, now I see it, the support level on Bitcoin, which is going to be pretty much affecting Ethereum, is holding there. All right, holding at those levels. So it's an indicator of a possible change. That's all that is. It doesn't guarantee that there will be a change. It doesn't tell you, oh yes, there's going to be a change. All right, yeah, we don't know that. All right, so it may be that they're nervous, and maybe that they're holding back. All right, to see what the next shoe to fall here is going to be on this on Bitcoin. Now like I say, the other cryptos, they following Bitcoin. So the top, you could say 5 or 6 cryptos are really are, you could say, tied to what Bitcoin is doing. Sometimes in order to find out what your cryptos are going to do, you might have to follow more Bitcoin than the other crypto. All right, but looking at the situation right now, there is a support level for these top five, at least the top 5, the top 10 cryptos. There are support levels for them. All right, that's beginning to get support level. So we're holding off there to see if it's gonna move forward on there. Let me see. I put a limit order for 15Ks. 1K. Yeah, maybe that you probably can do that. But like I said, you got to be careful here, because there may be a drop. There may be a drop coming here. There may be a short drop. You may. Oh, I just said that the drop has begun. Oh man, I just said there was going to be there may be a drop, and the drop already has begun on Ethereum, because I told you that I've seen this stuff happen before, where they level it off. They show like there is going to be a support level, and then all of a sudden you start seeing a drop. And right now I seen Ethereum. Right now, as I talk to you, I'm seeing Ethereum drop. All right, and he's done like at least $20-$30 drop right now on Ethereum. All right, so that's why I say you may have to hold off, because the support level right now is not there. I don't see it. I have quite a few indicators for different support levels, and this is a category 5. This is not a strong support level. If I told you it's a support level of a 9, of an 8, or a 10, those are strong support levels. This is like a 5 right now. All right, so it could go right through it on that support level. So I will say danger, Will Robinson on this one. You're gonna have to hold on this one. It's let me see. Volatility's picked up. The volume has begun to pick up. All right, I gotta see my what markets are opening up now at this time. I don't believe we still don't have the. We're still off a ways here, still from the. Where are we at now? Yeah, we already got the British market open up. All right, some of these markets you have to always pay attention to some of the world's markets when they open up and when they close. Sometimes you'll see these volatility happen around there. Right now it's holding off. Ethereum, if we're talking about Ethereum right now, is that which is pretty much what Bitcoin's probably doing. Is holding well, Ethereum is holding that at 1,052. It's right in that area. It did have a drop, as I was talking to you about possibly not getting in right now. I will say, there's about two of my major indicators do not agree with a buy right now. They're not agreeing with that, and that's why I'm not. And the support level, there's only like two of my indicators that show a support level at that point. And of course you'll see the support level just by looking at the chart yourself. You can see the support level on there. Let me see if I can back up this chart, because I was trying to back it up. Alright, I'm not going now. The chart that you see there is not the chart that I'm operating from. This is not the chart that I operate from. My own chart that you see there. Pull this back. This is just the chart that you see there on one of the Coinbase, but it's showing you the amount of trades going there. My chart I'm talking about because I don't put those charts on there. Alright, hang on a second. Alright. Okay, where are we at here? Alright. Going back to the situation here where we're at now. So we're holding off there. I think there's going to be a move. I don't know how long. The problem is with this kind of show, when we're doing a live trade, this could take, this could be very soon, or it could take a couple hours here before you're going to see the change. And I will try to always tell people right before the change is going to happen, or when I believe the change is an honest change, not just something that somebody threw in there that's not going to make a difference. It's going to fall back. Right now, it's just holding there at that support level. Ethereum is holding at this support level, and Bitcoin has been holding at the support level as that right now. It's always an indication that there could be a move on an upward direction, but it's not guaranteed. The support level right now is telling me there is you could say a 65% chance, 60 to 70% chance of holding off and then moving upwards. All right. So, but it's not strong. It's not a strong support level right now. To me, I don't see it as a strong support level. So we have to hold off there, possibly watch the next 15 minutes, the next 15 to half an hour, to see what's it going to do, and see where the candlesticks are going to end up on this one. And see where we're all moving on here. It's not where it's at. It's not where I want it to be at. Tell you the truth. On Litecoin, I do different coins on here. I can't do all coins. I'll be like jumping from all places on there. The Litecoin, I had to look at it. Give me the symbol for Litecoin, because I don't trade Litecoin. I almost never trade Litecoin. Give me and I'll look at Litecoin to see what I'm looking at my indicators on there. Give me if you want to throw me the symbol of Litecoin, or the pair that you want me to look at. See if it's Litecoin and USD, and then I can look it up to let you know what I think about if it's on there. Now remember, if it's on the Coinbase Probe, the pair, then I can find it because I use a lot of that stuff. I will use it to look at the indicators and stuff like that. So just let me know if you find it on there. All right, Blue Six, if you're still out there, or have you gone missing, man? I don't know if he's out there. Blue Six might have gone to sleep. So we're looking at here. We're holding off at this level now for Ethereum to see what they're going to do next. And Blue Six still out there. Okay. I don't know why. Sometimes the live feed doesn't show the people who are viewing this. Sometimes, like, it was showing there was nobody viewing this just a second ago. That's why I'm asking you, because it was showing 0 views on it. So I'm thinking, what's going on with that? Okay, here you go. Okay, I got the. Okay, let me go look at it and see what I find from that. I'll let you know. Just give me 1 second here. Hang on. Let me look at what Litecoin is doing here. Okay. It's falling in tantrum with Bitcoin. It's holding also at $51.38. It's holding off on there. and it's the same thing. It's on a support level, but none of them are in the support level that I agree with. I don't agree with that support level. Okay, it's a very light support level. It is what I call a category. It's a category between 1 being extremely light or non-existence and 10 being a hardcore support level. This is more this support level that I'm looking at. This from my indicators. This is a light support level. Between about a 4 and a 5. Okay, it's not a. It could go either way right now. It's not strong support level. All right. I've not gotten a signal, you could say, from a strong support level that I have. Now, these are my indicators. That's why I do not show my indicators on here. All right. What you're looking at is not my indicator. It's just a regular. It's from the broadcast on there. But I'm not showing a strong support level. Even though it looks like it could make a change, there's some things I don't like about the candlesticks that I'm looking at, and also my some of the indicators I have are not support. I'm not showing that as a strong support level. It could go through, it could fall through. That's what I'm saying. All right, we'll have to give it another, possibly anywhere between 15 minutes to 30 minutes, to see if it's going to make. And we're on a 15-minute short, so we're not on the long-term chart on there. We're only on the 15-minute shorts on this one to see what's going to happen on there. I don't know if you want it. I don't think it's not this smart. I think what I got is a lot of years of dealing with different things when it comes to stock markets, options, and forex markets, and then crypto. Once crypto, I started looking at crypto. It was something kind of fell into because it's part of investment, and I've always been interested in that kind of stuff. Oh, what you're asking? What time am I? I don't know, man. I might be out here for the next 6 hours. I may be out here for quite honestly. Today's show is kind of a test show to see if I'm getting if I get the people to start supporting the show with some donations and some support. Show up and look at the show, and then let me know what you want me to look at and see what I can look at. I'm not you always got to understand. I always got to give out a disclaimer on here. And I'm sure all people that do this kind of stuff that I'm doing today have to give you that disclaimer, and that is that we're doing this, but I am not your financial advisor. Okay, it's up to you what you want to do with whatever I talk about here, and how you treat it. All right. So that's the way. But it helps. A lot of people out there are confused about cryptocurrencies and all these investments, and they see the market so screwed up. With this bear market now that we have in our stock market, that it's affecting all these other markets, and they don't know what to do. Some of them have their investments stuck in this, and some of these markets, and they don't know if they should pull it all out and take the loss, or if they just stay there. So it's one of those situations. And it's hard because I know people that invested some big bucks on Bitcoin. They never talked to me about it. They invested in afterwards. And I would have told them, you need to hold off. At the time they invested into it, I would have told them, you need to hold off on that. And that was a bad time. They actually invested in an extremely bad times into Bitcoin. They invested into Bitcoin when it was up there in like 50,000, 53,000. And right now they're crying. They don't know what to do with it. And you see, that's the thing about these kind of investments is, when it comes to cryptocurrency, is what can you afford to lose? When it comes to these kind of currencies, I mean, it's very shaky. And if you have $10,000, $20,000, and you feel like if you lose it, it's not totally going to affect you and your family, and it's just a gamble, like going to Las Vegas and putting everything on red or black. All right, okay, then you may be okay with it. But if you're selling the farm, to get into some of these markets, you're really risking. You're really taking a risk on all this stuff. All right, the markets are extremely volatile. Markets are not what they used to be. If you go back to the 90s and 2000, you can look at markets as being more stable. Even back then, they had some volatility, but it wasn't like nowadays where anything geopolitically can affect it. All right, and could have big effects on the markets. All right, and economics in one country could affect the economics of another country. So this is what we're seeing. You look at the Chinese now with their lockdowns, and And China has affected economics in the United States and Europe. All right, because a lot of the goods have not been sold, have not been coming in, and then the price, then inflation has been moving up, and the price for these goods have been going up, and then you have also the chip market, which was controlled by the Chinese. So a lot of stuff, it all depends, and China just plays also a lot of games with their economics. So we're looking at. Let me go back to what I'm looking at. We're looking at Ifion, if I'm pronouncing that right, because I always pronounce that terrible. Um, and we're seeing that it is holding right now. It's stabilized at about $51 is stabilized. It's holding there as at a support level, but it is not a solid. That is not. I'm going to tell you right now, it is not a solid support level. Not the way I see. I don't see a solid support level there. Now there is one indicator that I have that you're not going to see there. It's not on there. All right, that I see creeping up. All right, and this is a strong indicator. It's a more stronger indicator. It's beginning to creep up towards that support level. But I still wouldn't bet the farm on this, and I'm only giving that support level at about a category 5 for that support level, between 4 and 5 as holding on. So there may be a chance between 40 to 50% that it's going to hold and move on to the next 15 minutes and still be there. All right, so we got to see what's going to happen there with that support level. I will say just wait to make a move on that. I don't see a strong one. If I see this is what I'm looking for, I will tell you. You're not going to see it on that chart that you see there. That chart there is only showing you that I'm live, and there is live trading going on right now. But the charts that I have, I don't put those on the air. All right, I keep those to myself. All right, and my stuff has a lot of stuff in it, and a lot of people won't even understand what the heck they're looking at. What in the heck am I looking at here, James? All right, so we're holding off there. And this is what I can guarantee. I have not looked at Bitcoin right now, but I'm sure if Bitcoin's pretty much still holding on their support level, and all the other coins are still holding on their support. Litecoin is still holding on their support level, so everything is on. It's on that support level. On whatever they're right now, they're on a support level for the last hour and a half. About the last hour, there's been that support level they're holding on. All right, but here's what's worrying me about that. Looking at that, it was that drop. Okay, it was that drop that came in. Let me see what time that came in. It's about an hour and a half ago. About 2 hours ago. A drop came in. More than 2 hours ago. I'm seeing what I'm looking at. Yeah, it was about 2 hours ago. This drop came, and it was a significant drop that I haven't seen in a while. And that may have been some institution selling out Bitcoin or Ethereum, which caused that drop. And sometimes these people can really let go some big bucks. They can really dump some big bucks. So you'll see the market will drop, and then it will just hold there, not knowing what happened. It's like a shock to the market. It's almost like somebody went up to you and you're just minding your business, and somebody just slapped you across the face. All right, so it's basically what you have there is it's a market shock that's taking effect. That's why right after the market shock, you have it stabilizes. You see the support level build up. All right after that shock, because now people are wondering, what should I do now? Then nobody's doing anything. They're just kind of holding on to their money, and they don't know which direction. Those that want to invest short, they want to go short on Bitcoin or Litecoins or Ethereum, are not sure if they should do it now. If that was just a fluke, you could say, of somebody dropping some big bucks and causing that shock to the market, or should they go? Or some of the people that want to go long, should they get in? So right now it's all confusion. They're all confused right now. They don't know which direction to go on this thing. All right, so that's why you see the support level continues to stretch out. You see we're stretching out now into an hour of support level on all these coins. Would you see it holding there at that once at all the coins holding at pretty much at that range that kicked in about an hour ago. So they're holding there to see what drops next, if it's going to be an upward move, and if they understand the market, they know that the support level that we got now is not a strong support level. It could go through it, but it's more like a 50-50 support level. 50-50 chance it could fall, 50-50 chance it could go up. It is not a strong support level that will indicate that you should get into the market, go long or go short. In either direction, it's basically a hold. is what you got on the support levels. I will hold. I mean, me personally, I hold off. I don't go into that market. I wouldn't do anything there right now until I see what happens in the next 15 minutes. Not 15 minutes. Possibly you may see a change. I estimate a change on there. Let me look because I'm looking at my stuff. You may see a change happening there in the next anywhere between 15 to 45 minutes out. You may start seeing a change, and if you start seeing the change and a movement going upwards, then you may be okay. Right now, as I was speaking to you, we came to the end of the 15-minute session, and there's a change on the downward motion again, but it's not breaking support. The support's still at, and I'm looking at Bitcoin. I'm not looking at Bitcoin right now, but I'm looking at Litecoin, and still within that same range. Not range, but it kind of follows whatever Bitcoin does, and Ethereum does. So they're all probably in the same thing. They're all probably working in that range. All right, in their range, in their respective range, you could say, and nobody's moving from there. And let me go back because right now I had those people that are joining us right now. The chart you're looking at is not the chart that I'm looking at. I'm looking at my chart, my indicators, my stuff that I've developed. All right, so what you guys are looking at this is so you guys know that this is a live broadcast. All right, but you guys listen to what I'm saying, then you have an idea where all this is going. Let me change over to Bitcoin, and because that's my main indicator for a lot of the changes are going to take place. It's not going to take place on this lower stuff. It's going to take place in Bitcoin first. All right. God, I just had it right now. Hang on a second. Alrighty. I'm going back here to Bitcoin again. Yeah, that's what I thought. I knew that Bitcoin, even though I wasn't looking at the chart of Bitcoin, I knew that exactly how it was going to be at. And that's exactly where it's at. It's holding off on Bitcoin. It's holding off in that level right there. Alright. What was that? Let me see. Somebody said something. Fair division stocks. I don't deal too much with the dividends. All right, and you're just another person to ask about it. All right. I'm a little different when it comes to that stuff, and there are people that they dig into this stuff, and even though I do these stock options and I do forex and I do stocks, it's just a field that I never really got a lot into. A lot of people will follow that. All right, and I will say. Right now, all investment, no matter what your investment vehicle is at right now, it's risky in a lot of places. All right, but it doesn't mean that you cannot invest. There, if you've been doing puts on the stock market, you may be doing great. If you have been doing some puts, if you're able to have an account where you have enough money to do puts, and or they're able to open up an account that allows you to do puts, you may be doing okay in the stock market because of the bear market. All right. If you're doing puts on the dollar, well, that's different because that changes. That's ongoing 24/7. In some ways you could say, and it's a different type of market. All right. So that's a little different. But this other stuff, sometimes there's so much investment vehicles out there. There's so much stuff that you can invest in and say, I can invest on this, I can do that, I can go to this market. But everything has got their ups and downs on it. And everything has, you could say, a bottom or a top. You could say it's going to get to a point where it's going to stop giving you the return that was giving you, or you could say, and there's always a ceiling on it in one way or the other. So you got to be careful when you invest on anything. And you got to be able to move to other markets, be able to go from one market to a different type of market, and still be able to. If you're just trying to make money off these markets, all right, and follow some of the way it moves. All right, some of the. I'm sorry that I'm talking to you kind of broken here because I'm actually looking at something developing here. All right, I see the Bitcoin has dropped. Okay. Now, Bitcoin was at a support range at about 19,300 and is now broken through there. It's beginning to break through there. and it's now falling to about 19,200, and it went down to about 19,250. All right, this is what I told. This is why I told you you're going to have to hold off on all your investment on anything right now with Litecoin or Bitcoin or anything, because I told you the support level there is not a strong support level. It's a very weak support level, and I can see where Bitcoin already tested to go through it, and they punched a hole right now into it. But it went right back to the support level of 19,300. It was holding off at a steady at a 19,400 for about an hour there, and now you see it was beginning to break through it. So we gotta hold it, because that is not a. That's why I'm gonna keep saying it. That is not a strong support level. So you're gonna have to hold off there to see what's gonna happen there. Is there a great buy right now on stock? There are some companies out there that could offer something. But you might have to look at the older companies. All right, newer companies, if they're in services, that could change depending on what kind of investment you're looking at. If you're looking for long-term investment, short-term investment, long-term investment to be is anybody who wants to go like 8 years out, 5 years out. Short-term investing could be anybody that just wants to get in for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, not short. All right, so there are companies that maybe in a year from now, 2 years from now, may be good. And there are companies who you don't even know if they're going to be in business in a couple of years from now. So it's a little hard. All right, I also can do a lot of the stock market with indicators and stuff that I have. All right, I can do some of that, and I'll tell you what I think about any particular stock market. Today I was looking at the companies right now. I'm looking at my stuff is giving me a bad picture of tomorrow's market. I don't know what the futures are at right now, because I don't have those numbers open up right now on tomorrow's stock market. But I have to look at the futures. But even if I look at the futures, what I've been looking at for the last couple of days is not good news for the stock market. All right, I'm looking at a really possible this week of a good possibility that the stock market could fall 500 points. Anytime between now and Friday, you could say it could fall. It's because of what I'm seeing as the general market in what my indicators are telling me and what I'm seeing. They usually are pretty precise of what I'm looking at. All right, so it's not like good news. There's been some ups on the stock market. You'll see there's been some attempt to push it up and move it move it out of this slump that is in this bear market. But it's not solid. That's not solid. And I already seen it where this week it overexpanded. All right, it went into an area which to me it's indicating red. That you're looking at a possible 500 or 600, maybe even a 800 point drop soon to come in the stock market. All right, because of what is reached and where it's beginning to stable off. All right, so this is what I'm looking at. I hope that I'm wrong. I just don't see it. I really see that the market could fall. There's a good possibility that the market could fall between now and Friday. All right, it could be a good fall there in the U.S. market. And if it doesn't fall before Friday, then you may be looking at Monday. All right, so that's the way I look at it. All right, so it's very risky right now on that market, on the stock market right now. But it's going to have. If it comes down, then I'll if you're out here listening, if I could be out here talking the way I am talking to you, you'll start getting an idea when it comes and goes. All right, there are cycles in the stock market, and there are daily cycles in the stock market, and weekly cycles, and monthly cycles, and all these kind of cycles inside the market. Right now, my indicator cycle is not giving me good news on the U.S. stock market. It's not giving me good news on the Dow Jones. It's giving me bad news. If you're a long-term investor in the stock market right now, I'm not getting a good news on it. I'm getting bad news on it. I'm getting that there will be a drop on there. Now, is it going to affect all sectors? Hard to tell. If sometimes it may drop. Hang on a second, because I have to go back to what I'm talking about here about the about Ethereum and Bitcoin. Bitcoin now is continue. I told you that was not a strong. It was not a strong support, and you see Bitcoin now continue to drop. All right, it is now at 19,300, give or take 16 to 300. All right, is where it's at. So you know that it's continuing to drop, and that's what. And I told you that I've been telling you that for quite a while that there is not a strong support level there. All right, I'm beginning to see. Here's the thing about it. Even though I'm telling you there's not a strong support level, there's been some light indications of a level building up here. All right, possibly here. The problem is it still hasn't found that bottom to it, where it's going to stabilize and then go up. All right, this is the problem that we have now with Bitcoin. It is stabilizing because of the shock. What you have there is a shock. You had a shock to the system. People got confused. Investors got confused. Institutions got confused. You could say, and they're leveling. They level off there at about 19,350. You could say that was the average. They level off and they've been holding there. But now they're beginning to scheme. They're beginning to think what's going to be the next step here to move this market one way or the other. All right, and I told you that the level that was in right now, that has been on, was not strong enough support level, which was going to hold it up, and they may end up going through that support level. All right, so it's there. It is still a support level at that level, but not a strong support level. That's what I'm trying to say on there. So we're watching. We're going to continue to watch. James, get some coffee. Yeah, I got to get some coffee. Yeah, I got some soda here. Hang on, let me drink some soda too. Yeah, get some soda here. Well, if I said if you donate over $100 and you want me to pick for you, let's say what's going to happen tomorrow with a certain kind of if you're looking at Ethereum, or if you're looking at Bitcoin, or if you're looking at something in the stock market that I can tell you yes or no of, maybe something I can talk to you about, then I will give you my side of what I think about it. Okay, I will tell you this is what I pick, yes or no, to go with it or not to go with it. Either to go as a put call, or to go as a call, or as a put or as a call, or to stay away from it. All right. That's what I give you on that. I can work with you on that. I'm just looking for that donation. $100 will help me out, and then I can work with you on that, on the pick. The whole idea is to help you make some money, and I will use my indicators, my stuff, to tell you what I think about it. I will tell you my honest opinion on it, if this is something that's going to work out or not. All right, if you're going to get into it. All right, so I know there's a lot of stuff out there, and it's hard to track all that for a lot of people. All right, but it helps me out. It helps me stay up here, and we'll see what happens here. But like with all this stuff right now, I'm still kind of wondering here on the Bitcoin, because I see that it's leveling off, but there's just the last two candlesticks. I'm not thrilled about them. Even though we had a short candlestick on the last one, and it's kind of a strong indicator. Not a strong indicator, but it's an indicator of a level did build up there at around 19,300. That it's hitting a resistance there. That's because the candlestick did not go beyond the previous candlestick, and is actually shortening at this moment. So as long as it stays there and it moves on to the next 15 minutes, we may see, you could say, a better argument for a level being built up there. All right, a support level, a support level. As time goes on, and it stays in there, you'll see a movement. All right, you may start to see it go green. All right, because people will start hitting the support level and it doesn't move, and the volatility, the volume is not there to drop it, you could say. And then what you have is the institutions start moving in, and they'll start saying, you know what, maybe it's time to take it back the other way. And you may see some they will start pumping it in some ways in the other direction. Okay, when it's not moving their way, so you may see that happening there. What side do you think? Uh, you really can't say much what's going to happen there with the White House. All right, when it comes to the stock market, and it used to be there was trading curbs in the stock market, and I'm sure that all that I'm not seeing that anymore. And what it was, if you were living back in the 90s, and the market started to drop, let's say 300 points, then trading curbs would trigger. So you couldn't trade no more. There will be a period about 1 hour or 2 hours that the trading curbs will hit. So it got everybody to stop the trading, to think what their next step was going to be. If they were going to, trade up or down. But those stuff, a lot of the stuff that was in the stock market is not there anymore. And then the White House is so consumed by the upcoming elections and other stuff that they're doing that they're not paying too much attention to what's going on in the stock. I think they kind of left the stock market to the stock market, to people that do analyze the stock market, to decide on what's going to happen there, and to the Federal Reserve. And they're not getting. If it would have been that Donald Trump or somebody else would have been there, they may have been more involved with the stock market, all right, of trying to slow things down. But you don't see this administration all that deeply involved in it. They're like in it, but they talk about it, but they really don't do anything about it. And they're kind of like, I think they're kind of like leaving it off for the people and the Federal Reserve and some of the experts to try to fix it or whatever they want to do to it. So I wouldn't put too much into the White House on what they can or can't do on there. Let me see, James. Let's see. Yeah, gas prices are going to fluctuate. There's Blue Six has been asking me about the gas price. They're going to fluctuate. All right, things go up, things go down. This has to do with pump and dump. It has to do with institution banking, mostly big bankers and big investors, which pump and dump, and that's the way they make a lot of their money. If you're just pumping the price up and down, up and up, you're going to run out of investors. Eventually, people will just sit there and wait for more money to come into the market. So what you want to do is you want to shake up the tree. You want to see what kind of apples drop off the tree. So you started to if you want to be able to make money, you got to get the course. You're going to buy low, you're going to sell high. If you're going to go to puts, you're going to buy high and sell low. All right, but you're going to have to shake up the market. You just can't allow the market to continue in one direction, either going up or going down. If you're somebody who's a big investor, even institution, this market here, this bear market, eventually has to come to a stop because they're not going to put themselves out of business. All right, what they're doing now is they're dropping it down, but they're going to get to a level where you're going to see institutions, bankings, and other institutions coming in and pouring the money into these lower stocks, into stocks that could have value in the future. And then same thing with the gas and gasoline and petroleum markets. All right. Right now, the market is good for the Middle East. People in the Middle East are enjoying a windfall with these markets and these gas prices, because if you take the economy of Saudi Arabia and Kuwait and Qatar, which has a lot of LNG gas, they're doing great. Their economy is shooting through the roof, and people are enjoying life. We're not. You could say. All right, so it's hard for us. All right, but that's going to have a cycle. All right, that's going to get to a point, but they don't want to get it to a point where those that invest only on when stock is going up, they want to get They want to get things a little bit more volatility. Volatility, I guess you want to say, where they're making money where it goes down and up. And they just don't want to sit there and have a stale market, only a little bit of money going up every once in a while. They want to be able to move it up and down. All right. So it's going to happen. You're going to have the big institutions come in there and spend a lot of money, and they're going to have the same institution come back a week later and put in a lot of puts and then bring it down. All right. But I think for the most part, the prices may stabilize there for a while. And it's going to be, for a while, and you're going to see it start going up, possibly in the next month or two, or maybe even less. You're going to start seeing. I haven't followed it too much on the gas. I know there is a shortage globally there's a shortage of gasoline, and all the refineries are up to like 97% capacity. And okay, you're gonna go off. Okay, sure, sure. Hey, have a good one, and God bless. And we're gonna be continuing to follow the stuff out here. Um, I think what's going to happen. I was just talking to one of the person that was chatting there. I was telling them to have good luck on there. I think what you're going to have in the markets with gas, it's going to be probably looking at winter. Is what you're looking at. That's going to make a move on gas again. As winter gets closer, then you're going to see people that don't have enough money. The gasoline prices start going up again because it's more of a strain on the product. You could say on gas and on oil, and there's more demand for it. And even though during the summertime there's demand for it, but a lot of people may have stayed home saying, gas prices are too high to travel, and we just stay home, we'll stay close to the house, and they're not spending too much money. So that's going to stabilize the prices in some ways. But I think the big demand will be the one that you have to spend money on. And that's if you're like in Europe, in the U.S. or in Canada, and you have to warm up your house and you're warming it up with some kind of fuel. You're gonna have to spend money, no matter what the price is, or either that or freeze to death. So it doesn't give you a choice. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the other guy was leaving. He was seems to be going saying bye bye guys, and he was going. All right, the other person, the 99 guy, he was leaving. That's the one I'm talking about. So you're gonna see, come the winter, we'll see where gas prices really want to go to. I guess during the summertime, I think a lot of people, just before summertime, before now the summertime, right now we're in summertime. About a month or two, when the prices were going up, people started to make plans to stay home. And because people are staying home, it may drop the price. It may actually stabilize the price. Because of all the hype that was going out. People may by staying home and not going out as much, begin to stabilize the price. Doesn't mean it's going to go down by the ton. No, it may just stay there at that range where it's at right now. And then as summer comes to an end and kids go back to school and people go back to, you can see a lot of people that have families go back to like a normal routine, and winter starts to approach, then you see another strain on gas and fuel, and then you may see the price start jumping up again on that fuel. And if they don't put no other refinery online, then that's it. Then of course there's that talk about possible one major refinery going offline because all the money they invested into that Keystone pipeline and didn't get the money. They haven't been able to get the money back, and now they're suffering, you could say. So big problems for them. But it's a major refinery. If it goes down, prices of gasoline in the United States is going to go through the roof. All right, so we'll see what happens now going into wintertime. All right, and of course, the Joe's White House are going to try to see what they can do to lower price of gas, or see what they can do, because midterm elections is coming. People are going to blame them for all the hypes on gasoline. So, but that's going to be temporary fix. That's not going to be a permanent fix. The only way we can fix the problem in the United States with gasoline is by producing our own oil, our own gasoline and gas, not by having others doing it for us and buying it from other people. We're still putting out the same amount of carbon. You're putting out the same amount of carbon from gasoline made in the United States or made in Saudi Arabia. You're still going to use it here. It's still going to go through your engines. So what are you talking about? That's not saving carbon. That's not saving anything. You're still putting out the same amount. So it's bull. So we'll see what happens with that. Going back to the situation here with the crypto here, on this situation here, what's developing here, we seem to just hit that one support level there, and we're holding there. We're holding on that support level on the Bitcoin at about 19,000, between 19,270 to about 19,200, 330 around there. It's like holding right there. It's slightly broken through the support level All right, that it was on there for about an hour and a half, and it's beginning to break a little bit through it, but it may continue to hold there on that support level. All right, so, and I wouldn't say jump into there. If you're gonna jump into that, I would say hold on before you make a move into that at at any level. Just hang on there. Hang on a second. I gotta get some drink. Let me get something to drink here. I don't know what happened to my music. It's not. It is really, really bugging me today. Cause I like to leave that music going on the play in the background, but I don't know what in the world's going on with it. Yeah, I think I just put it back. Maybe it went back. Maybe it didn't. I have no idea. But that's supposed to be playing in the background. It should be playing like the list. And it's the first time I do this live broadcast on this channel. And let's see what kind of support I get. If I get people are interested in this kind of broadcast, I'll do more of these live broadcasts on there. Let me see where we're at here. Okay. Let me go back over here and see where I'm at. Alright. So we're holding off there and see what happens on Bitcoin. Alright, we're gonna see what happens here. It's just holding there. And you may see a support level coming up here. I mean the support level is there, but like I said, it can go through if it wanted to. At any moment it could go through, and it could go in almost in any direction. It's not. It's just there. You could say, and like I tell you, more than likely this support level was created because of that one shock that came in of a couple of good dumps. You could say, and now people are just beginning to get their nerves back up again to see if they're going to go back into Bitcoin and put some more money into it, or they're going to bail out. It's all psychological. What you got there is a psychological war support, you could say, is what you got there at that level. As people wonder what, short investor wonders what they're going to do. Long-term institutional investor or long-term people that want to go long, wonder if they can use it as an opportunity to buy short, to buy it at this price and get and bail out at a higher price, So they're just waiting to see what happens next. As they see these big institutions, sometimes they just wait for the common person to get into the market and see how many people start moving it up one direction or the other. And then they'll know what to do next on there. So we gotta wait to see what they're up to. Or sometimes they like to set the market or get the market moving one way or the other, and they're prepared to sacrifice, you could say, or dump or put money into to see if they can get the market to go one way or the other for them. And then that's where they're going to make the money. All right. So it's a lot of games being played behind the scenes when it comes to all this stuff. All right. It's not like you're just playing. It's not like when you put money into these markets, it's not like you're just you and your neighbor or some people down the road. No, there's some big players in here who know how to manipulate these markets. All right. And they're using a lot of, you could say, psychological warfare against you. And they create panics. And they also boost up panic. They actually create a buying panic. They can create a selling panic or a buying panic, where people think, "Oh, it's going to go through the moon." And everybody starts jumping in, but they're prepared to dump it at one point because they're the ones who basically got it going. So, but they are in a constant war with other institutional people who are involved in this. We're talking about millions, billions, and tons of money. And they're in a constant war trying to figure them out what they're going to do. All right, but these markets are being moved by heavy hitters. All right, the people, the small investors they're just taking advantage of small investors. All right, and and they use them as a catalyst to move the markets one way, up or down. Is what they're doing. So we're holding. We're holding to see what happens here. Bitcoin right now we got around 2 hours into this. You could call it a support level, which is almost like a support level at that point. It's not a strong support level, but it's holding there. And but we have not seen the kind of movement that we're looking for to say, oh, it's going to move up, and we're going to go back to start making some money for those who want to go long on this. Now, I wouldn't say. I would say it could drop. There could be one more move right now. Looking at it, it could be, before it moves up, there could be one more move on Bitcoin, possibly to go down another 100 or 200. All right, before it moves up, before it starts to make a move up, and that's to drain out whatever support there was there to drop it. You can say try to get as much as they can out of it, and you may see it where all of a sudden you may see a drop on there. All right. The thing is, there are stuff, you could say there are things that indicating that it could turn around. All right, and you could start seeing a movement back towards the 20,000. All right. Now, is it going to go back to 20,000, or is it going to go short of 20,000? 19 is kind of like going below 19. It's really hard to stomach for a lot of investors. So I think a lot of people are just trying to see if it holds off at 19. If it holds there at 20, not going underneath 20, not 19, going under 20, it's hard to stomach for people. All right, but that's what they said when they got to 50, and that's what happened when they got to 40, and then you got to 30, and now we're at 20. It took a while to drop it where it's at right now. But all those were, they were, if it gets to, if it gets to 50, it's going to stabilize and go back up. And then they say, if it gets to 40, it's going to stabilize and go back up. Oh, if it gets to 30, it's going to stabilize and go back up. It hasn't worked out, has it? And this is what's scaring people right now. They've seen it happen. If for those who have been long-term investors in Bitcoin, they're like, uh-oh, here we go again. Because it's already dropped under 20. Now, here's the thing about it. It could go for quite a couple of months, where where it drops under 20, it recovers, goes above 20 a little bit, and it drops, and it could go back and forth for a couple of months before it finally stabilizes at 19 or 18 or even down to 15. All right, the next shoe to drop, the next big drop, will be all the way down to 15. All right, that will be the next big drop if it goes in that direction. All right, so but it stabilize at 20,000 and be there a couple of months up and down, and maybe we hit the bottom on Bitcoin. But if you show past history, the way it's been going on for the last year, you could say 20 may just be temporary, and the next bottom is 15. All right. I mean, you hate to say it, but you may see it. You may see Bitcoin, down the road at 10,000. Is what you may see it at. It doesn't mean you can't make money on it. If you can go on Bitcoin on either direction, you can make money on the volatility of Bitcoin. You just gotta know how to get in the market and when to get out. All right, into that market, and you can make money on there, but not as a long-term investor in any direction. You could say, because it could go in anywhere in any direction anytime. So you can get in, get your buy, get your the direction you want to go, and make a short profit and get out, and do that. Keep doing that. That's what you got. A lot of these institutions. That's what they're doing. Is they're getting in, getting out, getting in, getting out, getting in, getting out. All right. And of course, the small investors, the one that gets a lot of times hurt by all this, because you never know when one of these big institutions, big whale, is going to dump or pump. You don't know if they're going to pump or dump. You have no idea when they're going to really hit the markets. All right, so that's where you got to be careful with on this kind of stuff right now. So we're still here. We're still stable. We're still there at a support level at around 19 right now. We're at about 19,220, 230. It has gone slight down. It's begun to fall. You could say beyond that support level, and there could be a big fall. There could be a bigger fall coming up before they move it back up. Before they say that enough is enough, and we'll move it now back the other direction. But there could be another fall here. That could be another. It's gonna be sad to see it at 18, but we could be getting close to that. All right. And they could drop it. They could drop it all the way down to 18. And once they get to 18, they could say, "Well, no, we're going to turn it around. We're gonna turn it around and go back to 19." Let me see something here because I'm kind of lost on my stuff here. Okay, there we go. So that could happen. All right, it could go, like I said, it could go today to 18. We'll see what happens here. Oh, maybe tomorrow, but it's probably this week. It may hit 18. It's what you're looking at. At least for long terms, you may look at that. Some of the indicators is showing me that it's still going to continue to fall here. The support it doesn't seem like it's going to be strong enough to keep it from falling. All right. So this is what these indicators are showing to me, that it's possibly going to continue to fall. All right, and it's not going to be a good idea to do anything there with it. We'll let it go there. All right, to see where it goes. And the candlesticks they're not working with it. They're working against it. They're actually indicating to me they're also it's probably going to be continue to fall here as we go here. Blue 6, I don't know if you're still out there. You were out there listening, and sometimes on this I have in and out, a lot of people come in and out, so it's hard to tell who's out there anymore. So we're waiting to see what happens next here. And it's kind of bad. It's kind of like it's not too good here. What's happening here? It looks like we may be heading to 18 here. All right. That's why I told you guys about 2 hours ago. Around 2 hours ago, I told you don't get into this support level. This is not a real support level. I told you this is a very light support level. And that's exactly what we are encountering right now, is a light support level, and it's beginning to fall through that support level. Okay, you're still here. So we're looking at, it's going to continue to go through that. So for those people joining us here, the indicator that I'm doing is a different indicator than the one you're seeing there. The one you're looking at there is a live indicator, but the one I'm using is a different one. And you're not seeing that one there. Hang on a second. Let's go here. Okay, we're back here again. There's no problem with my sound system today. It's not working properly. Yeah, I think we're back here. See, it's like working there. All right. As we continue to look at this. All right. See where I'm at or where. Yeah, it seems like All right, what are we looking at? We're still looking here at Bitcoin and see if it actually can hold on to the to that to the where the level is at right now. Okay, we'll see what happens there. You know, I lost one of my windows there. There we go. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Let me see if I can get that window a little bit under control, I guess. I'm trying to get that window back. Where in the heck is it? Yeah, somehow I've shut that window down. This window that I had open is not open anymore. And let me see if I can get it back up again. Yeah, there it is. So what I'm trying to do is this. I can't move this upwards. That is so damn difficult to move. I don't know why. Okay, we're still looking at Bitcoin here. And see what it does. So there could be a change here, possibly in the next. I'm shooting it out maybe between an hour and 15 minutes, and an hour and 15 minutes. We may be looking at a change here, where there may, if it's going to change upwards, it may do it within that period. If it's going to be a movement towards. So you can go long on it. Right now it still has fallen a bit through that support level. And you may see it now. In the next anywhere between now and about an hour and a half, an hour and 50 minutes to see if it goes back up. Let me see, you're asking here about Dodge and you're asking about ADA and all this other stuff. You know, it's still the yeah, a lot of those coins cannot hold on too long. The problem is that people shift the money. Sometimes those coins, people take them out of there and they go to Bitcoin, which is maybe for them more stable, and they'll shove it into Bitcoins, thinking that Bitcoin is going to recover up and go back up. So these other places will have their money in there. There'll be people that have money in these other coins. But maybe they'll take it out, or they'll take it out and they put it on the sideline to see what's going to happen finally to this market if it's going to stabilize. All right. So some of those coins, people got into it not expecting much out of these coins, thinking that was like taking a gamble and playing a lottery ticket, you could say. And they invested into it, and now that they see that some of their investments are lost, whatever they have left, they're pulling it. They'll take it out and put it on the sideline and wait to see what's next. All right. I mean, it's kind of sucky now for the investor in general who invests in all markets. You could say they're suffering on all these areas. But the problem, like I told you, if you're the smart investor, if you're a good investor, you're making money off this market. If you're able to get on the other side, on the downside, if you're able to get into the puts of this market. Because you're making money as the market falls, you're making money. The only thing is you really double your risk, you could say, in some ways, by going into the puts. And in some companies, sometimes it's even hard to find companies, especially in crypto. They will allow you to put puts, and sometimes they're only limited to the available coins that they have that you're able to purchase under puts. Or maybe you have to bring in a big deposit or have someone in case there's a margin call, and they'll take that. So it all depends on how these things go. Some of these companies, but they're not. Especially now when you have the market falling, these companies are really beginning to worry what they should do next here, because the only thing they see is going downwards and downwards and down. When everything is going up, they're making money. People are happy and people are putting more. Oh, we got a future, money, look, we're going to be all zillionaires by the years, 20, whatever, 20, 30, whatever. We're all going to be a billionaires, and they're all thinking that up, and then all of a sudden everything in a couple of weeks just changed. And they're like, oh man, everything I had, I lost it. And that's the way it is. With these markets, you have those things. It's a roller coaster when you have these markets. You have this, you got Dogecoin, you got all these other coins, but they'll have their ups and downs, and sometimes people will pull money from these markets, from these coins. The bellwether, you could say, the one that the market, the one that everybody looks towards as which way the direction of the market is going to go to. It's going to be looking at mainly Bitcoin. They can pretty much, by looking at it, you can say it's going to go this way, it's going to go that way, and you get an idea what direction you want to go to. Gets you a better. But if Bitcoin's right now goes down even further, everything else goes down with it. Everything else has a meltdown, unless you really got some really good promoters, people that really can promote the crap out of these other coins. To continue to convince people that cryptocurrency is good. And then you'll see the market. Then you see that coin maybe go up. But that might be only a temporary fix. Let's see what else here. Really? Cuban Mafia, huh? You want to Cuban Mafia? Yeah. I don't talk much about that. Come on, Blue Six. I try to sometimes help people with this stuff, but at the end, everybody's their own investor. They invest whatever they want. They do whatever they want, and you could tell them sometimes that things are going to go one way or the other, and they just don't buy it. They just like, nah, I'm gonna do it my way, and things go bad on them. So. It's and they don't. You have to look at the dynamics of all this. Whatever makes the market up, and you got to understand there are a lot of bad things in these markets. A lot of bad players who got money, who manipulate markets, and bankers and in these institutions that drop all their money, and groups of people that get together and invest in these markets. And then you gotta know the geopolitics globally, especially when it comes to crypto market. How it's affecting these currencies, and yeah, of course you got the big question. What do we really need this? If you got those people out there who have invested a lot in crypto, then you have to ask, what do you use this for? And the only thing they can come up with is to trade other currency, to trade other crypto. So what kind of market is this? It's kind of a weird market if you think about it. So some people are turned off by it. Some people see it as a vehicle to invest. But it's risky, extremely risky. If we didn't have a bear market, maybe the crypto would have been doing okay, or stabilized somewhere up there in the 40s. You could say. It would have stabilized maybe at 45, something like that, 40. Now here it is. I told you about something like about half an hour ago, 45 minutes ago. I told you that there was going to be a downward move on the crypto. That more than likely there was going to be a down because the support level was not strong enough. And now you're seeing it. You're beginning to see the move that I told you was going to happen. All right. Now here's the thing about this move. It could be good. It could be a good thing in some ways for those who want to go and still invest a little bit into the market. All right, we're looking at a bit of a down move here on crypto. Now, you guys are looking at an indicator that I don't use. which is the one you're looking at. I'm not using that indicator. I'm looking at you, and it's pretty much telling you, but it doesn't give you what I give you because it doesn't have my stuff in there. My stuff, I don't put it on here. I'll talk about it, but I won't put it on here. All right. But I told you about an hour, about 45 minutes ago or more. I told you there was probably going to be a downward move, a sharp downward move, and this is what you're beginning to see now. And that's from experience, people. That's not because of something. That's my, I'm telling you because I've seen this stuff happen before like that. So now you have this downward move, but here's the thing about this downward move that I keep telling you. There's a possibility right now. Not at this time. I wouldn't get into this right now because this downward move hasn't indicated that it's going to stop. All right, this is it's a slow moving downward move, but there could be all of a sudden a sharp drop. I just go wham, and a big drop happens, and all of a sudden, and then if you got in now, you're going to regret it. All right, so we gotta wait right now. But going to this, if this downward move stays there and then stabilize, and another indicators that I have, other stuff that I have, all of a sudden it shows that it's going to turn, then I'm going to tell you it's going to turn right now. My other indicators are getting closer to indicate that, but they're not there yet. All right, they haven't made. You can say my stuff has not made a commitment to say go and get into the market because it's going to move up. It's just not there. All right, it hasn't gone there yet, and you may see where it turns upwards, and I'll still tell you I'm not getting into. I won't get into it. I'll tell you to wait. Because there may be just a fluke in some way, something to get you egged on to get in, but it's still going to continue to drop. All right. So right now, that's where we're at with this stuff. You're not going to. Right now, if you get in right now, you're going to. You may suffer a blow here coming up soon. All right, because excuse me. There may be a bigger drop. If you guys listen to this later on in this broadcast. Please don't forget to donate to the channel. It doesn't mean I put down there $100 donation will get you a pick, but it doesn't mean you cannot donate. You can donate at any time, any amount you want. All right, to Bitcoin at any time. All right, I only tell that to people that if they make over if they donate more than 100, and if they want to, because maybe they just want to donate. If they want to, I'll give them a pick that I believe could take effect within 24 hours. All right, I'll tell them what I think of something, and it could be something they want. Maybe they want to find out some information on a certain stock, or they want to find out some information on a certain put, or something they want to find out information. It could be. I'll tell them which way it may go in the next 24 hours. So. All right, so and it kind of helps out. It may help them out. It's not guaranteed. There's nothing guaranteed like that. Even the top professional can never guarantee you that. I can tell you that, but I can give you my stuff. You can look at my stuff the way I'm doing stuff here, and then you can decide for yourself if I know what I'm talking about. All right, and if you've seen this video from the beginning, you know that I've been talking about Bitcoin and about this stuff, and I've been telling you how's it dropping and what may be coming next, and you see some of the stuff already happening before your eyes. All right, so you see that I'm not BSing you. I understand this market. All right. Right now we're on Bitcoin. We're holding off here on Bitcoin, and you're doing this, and I told you that the resistance level that was in was not strong enough, and now you see what I'm talking about. You see it dropping. All right, but I don't think it's finished. I don't believe that this is finished. The drop hasn't finished here. Here's the problem that's beginning to worry me. Something big is beginning to worry me as it gets closer to 18. There may be automatic drops. There may be the people at 18 put an automatic where if it reaches automatically, they'll sell at 18. At 18,000, let's say at 18,999, they'll sell. If it reaches underneath 19,000. All right, so we gotta be careful here because you may see a big drop if it hits 18. All right, where the automatic trading comes in. All right. And some people may have the system set up for automatic trading if it falls under 19,000. And we have been playing around getting close to 19,000. Right now we're at, under 19,000 goes into the 18th. and it's getting closer. Right now we're at $19,065, and it continues to drop. You see the drop continues there. Now we got to be extremely careful. You're seeing what you're looking at there. Let me see what indicator you're looking at, because you're looking at a different indicator. Just realize you're not looking at the one I'm looking at. You're not looking at the Bitcoin. You're looking at the, what the heck are you looking at? Hang on. Yeah, you're looking at the minute, and I'm still looking at the 15. Let me change you over to the 15, because you're looking at the minute, and it looks like it may be something there, but that's going to confuse you. All right. I'll give you the one that I'm more or less, because I'm looking at 15, you're looking at 1 minute. All right. As you see, the drop's going to continue. It has to continue on the 15. All right. I had the 1 minute there. I just realized it, because I said, why does that look so different than what I have? That's the 15. This is the 15. I'm going by the 15 right now. All right. But you see the price there drop. And it's fluctuated now. It's gone up to 19,100. Around there is up. So it's gone up a bit, just a bit. For Bitcoin, that's not a lot. All right. And it's in there. Let's see if it stabilizes. Let's see if they will stabilize it. If some of these institutions that are selling and buying Bitcoin will stabilize it and don't allow it to drop under 19,000. And I think I'm sure they're aware of the automatic sells. All right, that people have possibly on their system to sell automatically if it falls under 19,000. So they may want, the institutions may want to stabilize it at this point and say, you know what, let's not let it go under 19,000 and stabilize it. But still, the institution can only have so much power, because if the people all decide that they're going to dump, they're going to dump it. And you're going to see it fall under 19,000. Then you might see a sharp drop after it goes under 19,000. And that's because of the automatics that will kick in. So we'll see what happens on there. If they put the automatic, sometimes people, maybe they don't want to put the automatic. There's a big fear now. Right now, at this price, you're in. If you're in Bitcoin, you're having a big fear if you're at this price that it's going to drop to 15,000. All right, because it could drop in the next week to 15,000. You may have a giant panic attack there on Bitcoin, and you all of a sudden you know as fast as just think about this kind of investment. The faster it goes up, the faster it can also go down. It can go extremely fast up and extremely fast down. And Bitcoin, you all remember, a couple of years ago how fast it went up, and only in a couple of weeks, and now you're seeing how fast it could go down, really fast now. Now, for those who are joining us now, I'm not looking. This indicator you're seeing is not the ones that I use. I use my own indicators, but you're using it something so you know that it's live. All right, but I'm talking about an indicator right now. We're talking about Bitcoins, possibly making a down movement here. But here's the big kicker: if the automatics kick in, if the automatic trading kicks in, you may see a drop, a good drop here. If there's a lot of people with these automatic systems ready to go, but we'll see what happens. Maybe they won't allow. Right now we're very close. We're only a couple dollars away from 18. We're right. We almost hit it. Almost hit that 18, and I'm sure we probably kind of hit it, but it didn't give enough time maybe for those automatics to kick in. All right, we're floating around it, coming really close to the 18 on here. All right, it's really getting close to 18. All right, we went down as far as 19,008, 19,007, as far as I seen it, and that's probably an indicator that it's already at 18. All right, but it continues to flow up, and we're up to 19,027. It's kind of interesting to watch it now to see what's going to happen if the automatics kick in. If it's not a lot of automatic trading below 19, where it starts dumping, or the institutions step in and put a stop to it by buying, therefore stabilizing from dropping really fast. We'll see what happens. All right. We'll see in other words, who has more control here? The institution, the big investor, or the smaller investors who are spread out, and some of them have these automatic trading on there. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen here as it gets closer to 18. Right now it's at 19,046, and it got really close to hitting below 19,000. And this is where we gotta watch out. One of my indicators that I use to see if it's going to stabilize and move up is in a proper area to possibly make a move in about another hour, maybe, depending on how fast things go here. All right, or less on an upward position, but it's not guaranteed. Right now, it's still not where it should be at. For me to tell you or make the call to say, well, it's going to go up. It's probably going to go up. There's a good chance it's going to start going up now. I cannot make that call yet. Right now, the only thing I see is it's still showing that it's coming down. All right, it's still going to be dropping. That's what I'm trying to say. How long have I been out here, dude? I mean, Blue Six. I've been out here quite a while, man. I just feel like I've been out here forever. Usually it says it on my. I don't know why I can't see it on my broadcast. Usually it will tell you how long I've been here. I don't see it. Maybe because the something isn't up. 2 hours. There you are. 2 hours out here, and we're hitting 19,009. Let's see what happens. 19,006. Let's see. The other currencies, I can see it right now by the action on my board that they're beginning to panic. All right, they know what's coming up if automatic trading kicks in on this. All right, it come back up to 19,030, 19,021. All right, but I seen it hit almost 19,008. It was 19,009. That's the last time I seen it. So it's getting close. It's getting close. Are you ready for that, Blue Six? If it hits underneath 19,000, yeah, I hope you're ready, man. So we're all looking at it right now. 19,009 is right now as I talk to you. And in some other, places it could be already at below 19. So it could stick right there and start going down right now. This is still at 19,000, 19,013. So we're up again a little bit. So it's a little bit suspension. You can say we're up. Like, what's it going to go? Is it going to stay? What's it going to do here? Oh boy. So what do you think, Blue Six? You tell me. Is it going to go under 19,000, or is it going to stabilize and go back up and stay above 19,000? I'm asking Blue Six here, who is a professional trader. No, I'm just joking. I'm just asking him to see if he knows. What do you think his commentary on this? Oh, Blue Six, you're a pessimist. You are a pessimist, man. Blue Six is saying that it's going to go down. That's what he's telling me. He's just going to go down. That's what he's telling me. Look, Blue Six, so far you're wrong, because it's still showing 19,021. So it's still above that 19,000. I mean, above that 8, above that. So we'll see. We're hanging in there to see where it goes. So this is now what you have there is basically a war between those that want to keep this from falling under 19,000 and those who are basically going in a panic. And you're going to see the sells and you're going to see the buys, sells, buys. This is what you see there on your right. If you're facing the screen on your right, what you see there's the buying and selling, the buying and selling. You see these giant strips of red beginning to appear. These are sellers. All right, this is live time. This is a live stream. What you're looking at right there, and you're beginning to see the sellers. Is what you're seeing there coming in. All right. When you see it kind of mixed up, sellers and buyers, it's okay. But when you see giant bands coming in, it may not be good. It may not be a good thing. All right. So that's what you're seeing on there. Is you're seeing these and we're at 19,014 here. So it's really getting 19,006 blue six. You may be getting it there. You may end up getting it there. No. Oh, it hit it. It hit the 18,000. 18,983 is beginning to move. 18,986, and now we're beginning to hit the bad territory here. It's already under 19,000. Bad news for those people that was kind of hoping to stay over into the 19,000. It's now under there. It's into the 18,000 now. 18,950, 18,947. Let's see if it moves up. It moved up a little bit, back up again, and it's come down. So it's up there. They're trying. I'm sure that some of these institutions, they want to keep the price up, are going to now push on it. They're gonna put some money into it. But my indicators are still showing it. It's selling. That's what they're selling. They're selling right now. All right, you see the red strip there on your right-hand side appearing more and more. This is not good. Well, I don't know what kind of panic is going to cause now underneath 18, but then you're going to have all these, like I said, automatics come in, and they'll start to sell. Now, here's the thing about automatic. You could have people that say if it goes under 19,000, I put an automatic to buy. It could go both ways. All right, but because of the market being so volatile, this could be an automatic to sell. Right now it's at 18,943, so it's gone down another $50. You could say more than $50. All right, yeah. Blue Six is laughing about this. I don't think you're invested in Bitcoin, Blue Six. So yeah, it's a bad thing. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there that invested a lot of money in this. You know. And but there might be like I said, about an hour. The hour's almost gone, and I can see one of my indicators getting close to maybe making a move here, where it may stabilize and then move up. But we're still looking a couple hours away here from this happening. All right. Right now is at 18,986, so it's still there within that range that it could hold on, depending on the panic that costs in the market. Depending on how much of the market right now is getting into a panic. If it goes, those that they didn't want it to see it fall under 19. They've seen a lot of people today didn't want it to see it fall under 20, and that's already been happening. And that's been happening since yesterday, obviously. So now you're having the it breaking through the 19, going into 18. And now people are going to be like, what the heck do I do next? Now it's gone back up above 19. It's back to 1912, which is, it's okay, but there's no, I don't see no support level. It broke through the support level, and it's been falling through the support level. The support level was up there at at about 19,400, 19,300. There was a support level, but it broke through that, and it fell through that. So now we're just now looking at it as it's underneath the support level into the 18,988 right now, and it's playing around in that area. All right. I'm waiting to see if some of my indicators will change. My indicators are still not showing that it's going to change. It's still showing the direction is downwards, is not upwards. And it's not even stabilized. My indicator's not even showing that it's going to stabilize. You guys cannot see the indicators on this. Look at the side there. Look at the movement of trade on that thing going crazy. Look at the people trading on there. This has gone insane. Look at it. See that? See the flashing on there? That's trade after trades after trades after trades, gone psycho bananas there with people trading. People that want to keep it alive, and people that are just on a panic to sell. And over there on the right hand side, I can tell you there's a lot of selling going on, a lot of reds mixed up in that green. But on the other side, you got this green coming up there. Ooh, man, look at that. So we'll see. We're hanging in there. All right. We're hanging in there. See if we're going to get above if we're going to stabilize here, if we're going to get a support level at this point. Now it's falling through. It's now falling through, and it continues to fall. We're now at 18,916. This continues to fall. Not good news for anybody who's into Bitcoin right now for a long term. Anybody who's doing puts on Bitcoin, it's making money. But if you're there long term, you're not making money. You're beginning to lose money here. And it's broken through the support level that was there at 19,400. It broke through that support level earlier today. Alright, so now it continues to fall there. As it just goes to the bottom of the pit here. Alright, we're just going to continue to watch to see what it does, if it's going to stabilize. Okay, a little bit of a good news. Teeny bit. Just a teeny bit. Alright. One of my indicators is showing a slight indication that it could stabilize at these levels. One of mine is showing that. Alright, but it's still too early to call if it's going to stabilize on there. So we're going to have to wait here. Alright, so already you had a lot of people that you could say dump a lot of this. But now you got people who are going to start thinking this over. And they're going to start saying, maybe this is a time to get back into it. All right, remember, you got short term. You got these people that only invest for a day or two. All right, they're in and out, in and out, in and out. And these are mainly a lot of these people are these people that have they have the option to put in calls. You could say or go short on Bitcoin. Some of them don't have the platform for that. They're not those platforms. Those are very rare to find. Those platforms are not easy to find. And they're limited to what they offer, and some of them have to have deposits and all this kind of stuff. But right now we have broken through that support level of 19,400, and we're now falling here. But my indicators, the ones that you don't see, my indicators are showing that it could make a change. Here in the next hour, there could be a change. It's a slight indication on one of my indicators that it could begin to change. I'm holding off to see if in about an hour or two it starts to change. If it changes, we might not see the recovery up to, let's say, the 21,000, or all the high 20s, you could say. But it still may stabilize over 20,000 and be in that mid-range, you could say, on there. So we'll see. We're beginning to see what happens there, and begin and watch the action as it unfolds. Here, I feel like I'm calling some kind of sports. It's at 18,976. And is holding right there, like in that range of. It's holding in that range of around 18,070, you could say, around there. All right, 18,970. It's holding like around there. All right, so it could stabilize, and I see some of the candlestick there begin to shorten. So that we may be looking at a support level here as we're moving along here, beginning to build. All right, so it could. Here's the thing about the way it is right now. It could build a support level at around 18,970 in that range, and it could hold there for the next couple of hours, and then you may see another drop. All right. Depends. Now I see some of my indicators don't show that. My indicators are showing that they are showing downward trend, but not there. There's one that's actually indicating to me that it could move up. All right, but that has to be supported by other indicators I have, and is not. It's over right now. It's moved back above 19,000, and it's fluctuating now between the high 18,000 and the low 19,000s. It's just fluctuating there. It's like $100 up, give or take, going in one direction or the other direction. There are people that make money doing that, because that's when you have a lot of trades, you can make money that way. So we're holding there to see what happens next. All right, and we'll see what direction it's going to take here. I don't know if I'm going to be here long enough to be able to tell you if when the indicator makes the change to the upward motion. All right, and we'll see what happens. We will hang in there. All right, as time goes on here. What time is it? Okay, Blue 6, don't you got to work tomorrow? I don't know if you're out there doing your job or whatever you're doing. I know it's late morning time here. And, yeah, we're holding on there. It's just in and out. And now we recovered. Not that much. We're like at 19,030 now. It has gone up a bit more. So it's gone up. We're showing a lot of green here on our right. So there's more buyers coming into the market. But the problem is when you have, you can have a lot of buyers come into the market, but all it takes is a couple institution sells, and they could really destroy the market. They can really bring it down because they dump big bucks. They don't dump little ones. And, a lot of times these little buyers, you'll see a lot of these little buyers coming and buying in small amounts, not large amounts. And then all of a sudden you see this one institution comes in, boom, 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 drops a couple of blocks, and you're like, whoa, and takes out all the gains for the day, you could say, all the gains that you made. So we're now at about 19,015, and still holding there. Like I said, within that range, close to 18, is fluctuating between 18, the higher 18s and the lower 19s, fluctuating in there. All right. And see if in what direction. Yeah, I know. I know you have had your problem there. You haven't been able to work. But I'm not sure if you had anything special you're doing because now it's early morning. Now the news now picks up this up in the morning and starts putting it out that Bitcoin's going down below 18,000. And they help with the panic. Is what they help, and that's what I hate to say it. They end up exacerbating the panic of selling, and you don't be surprised to see Bitcoin before Christmas down to 10,000. Just don't be surprised. It could happen, and it could recover to 30,000. It could go either way. It's just too volatile to say I'm going to pick one way or the other. The only thing you can do now is, the way I look at it, the only thing you can do with Bitcoin right now is short-term investment. In some ways, get in, get out, get in, get out, and try to get in the market at the right time and get out of the market at the right time, and make some little bit of gain here and there. But to be there long term, not knowing what is going to happen to Bitcoin in a year from now, or you have no idea where it's all going. It may go down far enough where it won't recover for never. It may take a very long time to recover, and it just may go back in the back burner, where people don't see it as crypto as being that important, and all these digital currencies from these countries will start popping up. And before you know it, Bitcoin will just be a memory, something in the past. They were so big and made so many millionaires, and in a short time it was no longer around. And this could happen. Was this kind of technology, this kind of stuff, this is stuff that could happen. It doesn't mean it's gonna be there a long time. You never know something. I'm trying to read the tea leaf here for when it comes to cryptocurrency, and I don't see something positive that I can say, oh, it's going to change everything. Because those who've been in the business of currencies, those who have been in business of controlling markets, are want to get rid of it. They basically want to own it or get rid of it and replace it with their own stuff. That's all it is. And they never want to allow the public to have control of the economy. They always want to have, and they've been doing it, you could say, for over more than 100 years, or even longer, you could say, to keep control of the economy. They pump it up and they dump it. On and on and on. And this is the way they control countries. And pump countries up and dump countries, and all this is their territory. So, private individuals having a say on how a currency works, and if it goes up or down, this is a nightmare for them. This is something they don't want. All right. So, and it's the odds against something like Bitcoin actually to work is very high that they will ever work. At the beginning, it worked because the institutional investor, the super banks and all this, were not paying attention to it. So it was going through the roof, it was beginning to move crazy. That's because they were not involved in it. But when it became a threat to them, and it was really beginning to borrow them and say this thing is beginning to make a change around the entire world, they moved against it. All right. So I wish I could say I'm going to be positive about this, about cryptocurrency, but I can't find a way to get positive about it, knowing that these people are out there, exist. Unless these people, something happened to them overnight, or they vanish, you could say. And there was no more of these super banks and no more of these countries around the world that want to do their own digital currency. None of this. Then cryptocurrency could be a big thing, but that's a whole different ballgame. Yeah. So I don't know. This is going on. Gold for retirement. Gold prices. If you go back 10 years ago, you see how it's gone up. So gold can steadily go up every couple of years. Can go up unless there's a block of gold in the market. Somebody discover a mountain of gold, then prices could come down. But I think gold, as populations around the world grow and countries start thinking about bringing possibly a gold standard to their currency, it will slowly continue to go gain on it, you could say. And but it could fluctuate. Gold prices in the last couple of years went up, and maybe it could end up where it starts to go down a bit before it goes up again, and you could have that ride because people, it's called profit taking, man. When people just made money off gold because the prices went up, and now they want to sell and buy some other equity because there was something else, and use that money for that. All right, so then the price starts going up, but the price I think will stabilize. It will start. Let's see. Yeah, the price was down low. It was, going back a decade ago, more than a decade ago. You could say about a decade ago. You're looking at Blue Six is saying it was about. I don't have the figures here, but Blue Six is saying it was about 12,000 to 15,000, 1,500, 1,200 to 1,500 was gold, and now you see the price where it's gone. So it could be moving in that direction. Going to Bitcoin back. I wanted to go back to make a point here on Bitcoin. It seems to have stabilized here at 18,900. All right, that's where it seems to be holding for now. All right, and it may stay there. It may stay there a couple hours. We're not sure. All right, and this may stay there stable until the U.S. market opens up, and then you may see a change because some of the people, if some of those investors continue to see this bear market develop and they see that maybe Bitcoin's beginning to reach bottom, then some of the investors may pull some of their money out from the market and then reinvest into Bitcoin. All right, but this may be a short-term investment for them to get some money off, because you may see the rest of this year this whole thing about Bitcoin going under 20,000, going above 20,000. If there's not a big giant drop back to 15, you may see that. So we'll see what happens there. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean it's. I think a lot of Blue Six has been asking me about gold. This potential for gold. You see, I can never make a 100% commitment to any kind of investment because anything could change. And the gold right now, most of the gold, you can say, the biggest owners of gold, not most of the gold, but the people that own the most gold is the country that owns the most gold is China right now. Because for around 2 decades, they've been sending out armies of Chinese loaded with money from China that they print on their presses. They cost nothing, all right, to buy gold internationally. So they exchange this money for real money, and then they use that real money to buy gold. All right, and they print it by the zillions, you could say, there in China. All right, and because they're not held accountable by anybody really, they've done that for years, and they have bought off of tons of gold, literal tons of gold. All right, and they have taken wealth, garbage money, and exchanged it for gold because it's what they're pretty smart at what they done. It's basically like the mafia owning a printing press. All right, you take your printing press and you make millions of dollars in money, and you buy stuff that has value. That's what the Chinese have done. So they own right now. It's been reported that the Chinese own most of the own most. It's the country with the most gold. Most gold owned by one country is China. All right. And then there's been some talk about them going to a gold standard on their currency, but I don't know if there really will be a gold standard like that, where you can walk into a bank and take your money, whether it be digital money or paper money, and say, I want to turn it in for gold, and they're actually going to go into the vault and give you a chunk of gold. I don't think so. I think there's just going to be a lot of BS when people trying to go to a gold standard to get their money maybe worth more money or whatever the deal is. But China plays games. They want their money not to be worth all that much because they play games with their economy, and they manipulate their currency. All right, so we'll see what happens with that. But going back to going back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now is the volume has dropped on Bitcoin, and it's stabilized at around 19,000. It's where the stabilizing is going. One of my indicators, the one I told you that is slightly beginning to indicate that it may move up, but it's not nowhere near where it needs to be. It's just slightly begin to indicate that it may move up. It's still showing that. All right, it's still beginning. It's not in the proper way where I want it to be, but it's beginning to show that. All right, but this could be a couple hours away before it moves up. But it's moving. It is beginning to stabilize now at about 19,000, and let's see how long it stays like that. If continue, the thing about it is all going to depend on the on what happens with today's stock market opening. Let me go see if I can see futures or where the futures are at today. I have to use another device to look at my phone. Let me look. Let me just take a look-see here at the future really fast. Where we're at here. Where in the heck is it? Just give me a second here before I look, because I'm trying to. Alright. Let's see where we're at here. The future is mine. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I called it right. About an hour ago, I told somebody that my indications of the stock market was it was going to have a big drop this week, possibly 500, maybe even up to 900 points. And I told them that. And that was based on my information from more than 24 hours ago. More than the last 2 days I've been looking at it from what I've been seeing from my like I told you, I have my own indicators, my own stuff. And I'm looking at a stock market drop. Alright. So now I see the futures are like 300 down. 300, I think it was like 360. They're down. Alright. So, we're going to see what happens here because we're still many hours away from the opening up of the market, but it's showing maybe a weak opening for the Dow. All right, and you may see today the Dow dropping. Okay, going negative. All right. So we'll see what happens here, because sometimes you'll see it where at least my stuff is showing me that there was going to be a drop in the Dow. It's showing me that 2 days ago that the Dow market was going to drop, maybe 500, maybe 800 points this week. That's what's been showing me around 2 days ago, showing it. All right. And then today I was looking at my stuff again, and I was doing some more research, and it's showing that it's still indicating that it's going to drop, that there will be a drop this week of possibly another 500-600 points, maybe like I say 900 points. All right. Even though it's shown like 2 days, around 2 days, around this week has been like a couple, I think 1 day or 2 days, where it was like trying to get a positive. You could try to get up there, but still, my stuff shows the indicator. You don't see those indicators on the live feed because I don't keep those indicators on live feed because it caused me too much problems to get them going the way I wanted to. Too much I've had to work with them, and I use different things, and you can't interpret them the way I interpret them. I can give you one of my indicators right now. You have no idea what you're looking at. But I had a feeling that it was coming. So now I see the futures are down by about 360, and we're still hours away from the opening. All right, so now we're going to see what happens here with Bitcoin. All right, if they're going to take some of the money off the table from the stock market, if they're going to try to prop up a little bit of Bitcoin, or if Bitcoin is just going to follow the Dow market and continue to fall. It has gone through an important resistance level, and that's 20,000. And it's below 1,000. And that was one that was holding it up. And as it did the same thing for the 40s, when it went below 50,000, after it hit around 65,000, 66,000, it took a couple of weeks before it started to head down even stronger. And then when it hit the 40, it did the same thing. And on 30, it did the same thing. Now it may be a repeat. We may be looking at a repeat here. We may be looking at where it kind of stabilizes around 19,000. And it'll move up over the 20,000 and then come back down. And then here's the bad part about it. I know you guys ain't going to like to hear this one. It may stabilize at 15. At 17.15 or something like that. All right. I'm looking at it from a past performance, you could say. You may see it where it goes down to 15. And who knows? Maybe by the end of next year, like I say, by the end of this year, we might look at 10,000. All right. If we can get out of the bear market, stock markets, if we can get the stock market back up and running, going positive, then some of the extra money being made on there could start bleeding over to Bitcoin, to cryptocurrencies. And then you may see where there will be a movement, a positive movement on crypto, where it starts to go up above the 20,000. And who knows? Maybe it'll climb up before the end of the year to 30,000. This is so hard because the problem is you have so many variables, so many things that could affect it, one way or the other. All right. On the Bitcoin, and a lot of the investors invested in Bitcoin are invested in the stock market, and if when they're happy, they invest in Bitcoin. They take the chance and they put money in Bitcoin. When they're worried in the stock market, they dump it. Right now. And right now, Bitcoin has gone down pretty far this session, you could say. And now let me see if it tries to recover. Now I'm beginning to see some green beginning to appear. You guys don't see it on your stuff. I see it on my stuff. Some green beginning to appear on Bitcoin. That means a little bit of positive movement going upwards. But still, to me, that's just stabilizing, beginning to create a bottom, you can say, in some ways, a support level. You maybe start seeing a support level being created at around 19,100, 19,000 around there. A support level starts being created. Now it could move up from the support level as the day goes on, and it may depend on a lot what goes on in at the opening at the stock market today. If it's gonna continue to break down, or if it's going to stabilize at around 19,000, create a support level, and show some movement going up. All right, but I think a lot of investors' confidence on Bitcoin is draining. It's just going away, man. All right, and the more people lose money, it kind of self feeds. The more people lose money on Bitcoin, the more they tell their friends, the more their friends pull their money out, and it continues to create a vicious circle. And you'll see the stuff just going down, 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 for no real particular reason if you think about it. I don't think Bitcoin is different from this month to it was 3 months ago. I mean, if you think about what's the effect of it, what it can do to, it's not like a product. All right. I mean, if you invest into a car company, if you're investing into a car company and there's a big giant recall on the car, all right, then the stock of that automobile company goes down because the product was defective, and it's something that impacts the company, and shareholders would start dumping the stock. But when it comes to this crypto, it's pretty much the same. What it was and is still the same. It's not like has anything changed between now and 8 months ago on crypto. If you think about it, the only thing that's changed is the stock market. All right, but what is it? If you think about it. And this is the problem that people begin to realize is this thing could go up and down at any time for any reason, for anything. There's not those kind of indicators, it's not like a stock. That if you have a company that it's in negotiation for a huge contract to make planes or something, then the stock is going up. Because there's a possibility that the company's going to be worth more money, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But if they don't get the contract, then the stock goes down. So there was a vehicle, they put it into motion. They put either the stock to go up or down. That's how a company works, a real one. But with this kind of stuff, it's only once in a while you might hear a country like El Salvador say, well, yeah, we're going to turn our currency into Bitcoin. So a little bit goes up, oh yay, but it kind of short-lives. It kind of runs out of energy right away. And then people are left holding the bag, holding the crypto coins, wondering what's next. Is something else going to come up where it will push the crypto coin up? And the hype has only done so much. You can only hype so much. This cryptocurrency before you run out of hype, and it becomes repetitive. And then you can go to these online social medias and all that. It becomes as an echo chamber for people that wants to see you going up, going down. That's about it. As a true investor, you're like, where am I with this Bitcoin? Where should I go with it? And I think it's only been it made an impact to people who go into it to get in and get out. Get in there for a couple of days and get out, and then read and be able to really understand when is it going to go up and down. All right. But long-term investors, at the beginning, long-term investors, make money on it because the bankers were not in it. They were not trying to stop anything. They thought they was never going to amount to anything, and then when it started to amount to something, the bankers and the super institution moved into it and basically have taken a chunk of it, control of it, and are now either destroying it or trying to manipulate the crap out of it. So that's what it is. Let me see what I got here. Okay, you started to buy silver. Okay. Yeah, silver sometimes goes up. There's other precious metals out there that have to do with batteries that the Chinese are in other countries are developing for electric vehicles, and that's some people have been investing or looking into those mining companies that produce that kind of material. Right now, I think I haven't done a lot of research into it, but I'm not sure that a lot of those mining companies are still cheap to buy anywhere. And as electric vehicles continue to be on demand and more are being sold, more of those batteries and those materials that make those batteries are going to go up in price as more and more people want electric vehicles. Okay, I have a little bit of indication here on Bitcoin. It's beginning to show an upward movement, which wasn't seen there for more than, let me see how long. It's been almost 3 hours, more than 3 hours. It's been like 4 hours, 5 hours since there's been any kind of significant upward movement on Bitcoin. So they may be stabilizing. They may be in the process. I remember I told you that I have one of my indicators that's beginning to show that there may be an upward movement. And here's the thing about it. For you guys who think that I'm playing around, that this is some kind of ridiculous show or something like that, that this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. 45 minutes ago, I told you there was going to be a possibility of a movement upwards on Bitcoin. What's happening now? I told you about an hour or 45 minutes ago. I told you I believe there's going to be a movement on Bitcoin, and then I told you it's going to happen in an hour or around an hour and 15 minutes. And look at it now. Go back and look. Go back, rewind the video when I told you this. When it was going down, I told you there was going to be a movement up, and I even gave you a timeline on when the movement was going to take place. And what did I tell you also at the beginning of the video? When it was stabilizing, when it was stable at about 19,400, I told you that was not time to get into Bitcoin. I told you don't get into it. I told you it was a bad idea. Even somebody asked me, I told them that's a bad idea. So if I don't know what I'm talking about, how can I figure all this out? Go back to my videos, listen to what I say, look at where Bitcoin is at, and look at the timetable that I gave you. And it's pretty much 100% accurate of what I've been trying to tell you. I told you it was going to stabilize. I told you Bitcoin was going to stabilize in about an hour and a half ago, about an hour. I told you it was going to stabilize. It was going to go back up. Start going back up. And this is what it's doing right now. Now, this could be, here's the thing about it. You got to be careful. This could be a false support level, which is false. All right, this is some people coming back into the market, and some institutions that come back to the market to see if they can prop it up and push it back up. All right, but you may see something. It may turn right away and drop it. All right, and the true support level from it, we may have not seen it yet. All right, so that might be still an hour or two away on that support level. But my indicators, the ones that you don't see, are showing that you may be looking at the support level building up now, and possibly in an hour or two, you'll see Bitcoin trying to make a comeback as we go down the line there. All right, if we don't have that big drop, and this is a false support level for another move down. Right now, look at it. It's doing exactly what I told you it was going to do about an hour and a half ago. It's pretty much doing exactly what I told you it was going to do. All right. The problem is I cannot commit to it. Tell you that it's going to move up, because the indicators, the ones that I put together, are not showing that. They're showing it's getting to it, but it's not showing that. Even though you're beginning to have an upward movement on Bitcoin right now. All right, and it's beginning to possibly go up. Like I say, let's hope it's not a false support level here. And of course, as we get closer to the market, then you're going to see what happens next. The market's future, when I look at it last time, we're down. All right, and this could have an effect on Bitcoin. All right, the futures for the stock market, for the Dow Jones being down as it opens up. Now the futures change. There's the thing about the futures, it could change between now and the opening bell in Dow Jones. All right, the futures could change, and you may see something. You may see it go positive, or it doesn't affect much of the opening. All right. But now we have right now the way I look at Bitcoin, it's hitting the support level, and things are beginning to level out. And you could level out and you could see a moving up within the next hour or two. You could see where it starts to push upwards. All right, so I'm not going to tell you to get in or get out. That's up to you. All right, but I'm looking at the possibility of a movement upwards, as I'm seeing some of my indicators beginning to confirm a possible movement upwards on Bitcoin. All right, it's a light confirmation on it. It's not what I want to see. It's a light confirmation on the upward movement on the Bitcoin. All right. The heavy confirmation will probably come if it's going to go up. Like I really believe it's going to go up. Then it will become. I'll probably see it in the next hour. If it's going to make the kind of movement I'm seeing. But this is short-term investment. I'm not looking at long-term investment. We're in a 15-minute short. All right. So we're looking at getting in, making some money, and getting out. That's what you're looking at. All right. If I was looking at a day short, then I could tell you this is a more longer-term investment, a week investment, or whatever. I'm looking at short-term investment. I'm looking at hit and run. That's what you're going to do here if you're going to get in. All right. I know, Blue Six. You're ready to put in your millions of dollars to do the investment, but you're going to have to hold there. You may have to hold here for a while. All right. So don't go crazy. All right. Now, some people at this point in time will wonder, should I go and invest on Litecoin or these other coins? It could be a possibility. It all depends on how you do your math and how much you got to invest. Because remember, they move in tandem with Bitcoin, a lot of these coins. All right, so it could be. Now, sometimes Bitcoin may move up, but the other coins already, right before Bitcoin or after Bitcoin moved up, they have already done their move, and then you get in and you get short. You get short. Now, you don't get the investment you wanted to get back in return. All right. Or you came either too early in the game or too late. All right. So that's what you got to. You can only. Right now we're looking at Bitcoin, but if I'm not looking at all other coins, that's why I said if you want to make a donation and I can help you, I'll do it again. All right. But that's what the donation is for. All right, I'll give you my pick, what I think is going to do up or down. All right, because I look at more than just a 15-minute short. I'm looking at different shorts and some other factors. But that's not even guaranteed. That's only tell you what I believe is going to happen. All right. And again, the investment, the pick, or is that it's just a donation. And I'll take any donations to help out. But I say I'll give a free pick after the 100. If anybody donates more than 100, I'll give them. I'll help them out with a free pick. What I believe could go up or down. All right. You got to tell me what is it you want. You want to see something going up, or you want to know if something's going to go up, or if you want to know, because some people do not have puts. They're not able to put in puts. They're not able to go against the grain. You could say they don't have that kind of broker where it allows them to go and put money going downwards on a stock or on a currency or whatever. They only able to make money when the currency or stock or assets move up. All right, so I got to know which one you're looking for there. What are you looking for? I mean, what is it up? Is it you're looking for a call or something like that, or a put on one of these? So if you're just somebody who, most people only invest to go. If it goes up, they make money. If it goes down, they don't know how to even get into it. All right, but if you're one of those person, that regular person, if you're one of those person that wants to know if you're going to put a put at this time, then you let me know, and I'll look it up and give you my best of what I believe could happen if you invest more. If you not invest, if you make a donation more than as a freebie, you could say, I will give you that what I think could happen within that, possibly in about a 24-hour period. I'll give you. How's that? That could help you out. All right. In the meanwhile, if you're just enjoying the show and you like what you're seeing and stuff like that, then I will ask you just to make some kind donation, any kind of donation out there. It'll be fun as long as I can buy a pizza. So, but we're stabilizing now. We're stabilizing Bitcoin now at around 19,100. It's around there now. It's beginning to stabilize. It's gone up a little bit. Candlesticks are in the proper place in some ways. It's not a solid ground. Right now we're still at around. We're now, you could say, in a support level. Now we're better than what we were before. Before, I told you the support level was between 4 and 6. Okay, remember, 1 being almost non-existent, being the weakest, and 10 being the strongest support level. So I told you that we were in the support level around almost 2 hours ago. I told you we were in the support level of between 4 and 5 support level. Now we're in the support level between 5 and 6. So we've gone up on the support level the way I look at it. All right, so the support level is getting better, and it's improving here on the support level. All right, the thing about it is it going to be a long-term support level and then start moving upwards, and you can use that to make something out of it. Or if it's going to be a support level that it moves upwards and right away it falls. It's hard to know what the people are going to do on that one. All right. Sometimes it depends on the candlestick on how far it moves up and how aggressive it is. If it's extremely weak, it may be a candlestick that's only showing a very minimal support level. All right. And also the wick on the candlesticks are, if they're extremely weak, they also could be not a good indication that it will be a solid support. All right, so that's what we're looking at here. What's gonna plus 6? What was that? Oh, looking at something blue 6 put down there. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and thumbs up, and don't forget to share the video. All right, I'm gonna see what I can do about coming out here, maybe on a Monday through Friday show for crypto and but like I said, it depends on people what they want to support. I cannot be up here. You know that cryptocurrencies, it's a 24-hour market that you can pretty much trade on it 24 hours every day. All right, forex market has their downtime, and of course stock market has their downtime. So I cannot come out here and say I'm going to do 24-hour crypto market because it's impossible. But I can come in here and do once in a while do a session on it. And I can come out here and do a session on option markets, or do a section on stock markets, on what I believe some of this stuff could be going. All right, and follow some of that stuff. If I would have come out here about 3 or 4 days ago, I would have told you there's going to be possibly a downturn on the more bears on the stock market, because of what I'm seeing on the stock market. All right, there's some stuff there. They're indicating to me that the bear market will continue this week, and at least for this week it will continue. The bear market showing and it's going to be a sharp drop somewhere. All right, I would like to say no, it's going to be positive. It's going to move up. I mean, it could happen, but right now there's a good 80% chance, I think, or more, that there will be a good sharp drop, and maybe we'll hit bottom with this next drop. Maybe the next drop will be the drop that it just stabilizes and moves up. The problem is a lot of people still worry about the Federal Reserve and what they got to say and how that affects whatever, and on and on and on. And this has got them worried. But we may see some changes coming here, I think, for the stock market soon. And we may start seeing more volatility, you could say, but with the up and downs, not this just bear. All right, and it could be an opportunity for people that want to invest money, to make money when it goes up, money when it goes down, and on and on. So we'll see what happens on there. And of course, as we get close to this midterm elections, things get more shaky in the stock market, because nobody knows what direction the country's going to take. All right, so we're going to see what happens there. So right now we're looking at the Bitcoin, and as you can see, that it's gone up a bit. It has not recovered the what was on there 2 hours ago. It's still below that. It's not up to the it's not up there to the 19,400. It's still below that. That's what it was. It was stabilizing at 19,400, and then it started to. I told you guys it was going to. It was more a good possibility that it was going to fall, and at that time when it was 19,400, I told you it was going to fall. There was a good possibility it was going to fall. All right. Right now, if I don't see this climbing anymore, if I don't see, I see what I'm seeing from the candlesticks and the. It's not showing something that I'm proud that I'm gonna say. Oh, go in there and go for it. No. It's very weak right now, what I'm looking at. Alright. It could change. Alright, it could change before the opening bell. It could start to move up. But here's the thing is the opening bell may crush any movement up of Bitcoin. Any ideas to move it up. And you could see it on this support level for a while. Until tomorrow, you may see something else, or maybe even early morning time, where certain people from Asia come in and Europe come in, and then you start seeing some volatility comes into cryptocurrencies, and depending on the futures of the stock market, you may see where it could go up to back to the 2,000. The 20,000 range. All right. If it doesn't stick, here's the bad news. If this does not stick, the upward motion doesn't stick, all right, and it doesn't start, the price doesn't start going up, it's going to create more panic. It starts to work psychologically on people's heads. And what it'll do is maybe stabilize at around 19,100 in that range, you could say, and then you're going to start seeing another drop, and then you're going to start seeing the new lows for Bitcoin, which will be around 18,500, 18,400, as it continues its march downwards. All right. If it doesn't stabilize, it needs to stabilize now today. If it drops today, then more than likely we're probably going to go down to 18,500. All right. But I'm just saying that from the top of my head. I'm not saying that from my indicator. My indicator right now hasn't crossed over to where it needs to, and it's not at one of my indicators. Well, two of my indicators are showing that there is a resistance at that level. A support at that level. There is support at the level it's at right now. That's my two indicators are showing. All right. The third indicator is not showing. It's showing me support at that level, but it's not showing me if it's anything going up or going down. It's just showing me support. That there is a support level there. All right. So, but that may change in the next 2 hours. The problem is I may not be here in the next 2 hours because I think I'm about to go off this broadcast because I'm already down like 2 hours into this broadcast, about 2 and 3 hours into this broadcast. This is why it's better for you guys, if you guys want to know more about where this is all going, make a donation to the thing, because then I can maybe monitor down the road here. Or right now I can't be on here I can't be on here hours on end. And see where it goes. It takes very slow movement. I can do probably hours on end if I'm doing the stock market, because that's only 8 hours. You know what I mean? But this thing could go on for days, for a very long time. So, but so to recap here, at the beginning of the broadcast, I told you that there was the sharp drop on Bitcoin was created a panic and a shock. And I told you at that point, it was still not stabilized at that point when I told you that. I told you it's going to stabilize, and this is exactly what happened. It created a support level. And then I told you when I was looking at the support level, I told you that my indicators, the ones that I have, the ones that you don't see there, are the ones that I make myself, my stuff. It's telling me no. It's telling me that there is a weak support level. and there was two of them giving me weak support levels that was showing me. And I even told you that in about a certain amount of time that it was going to possibly drop. It's probably going to be a big drop. It was going to be not a certain. I told you it was probably going to be a big drop coming soon. All right, and at that time you see the drop started to happen, and it broke through the support level and started heading down. Then I told you that. I also told you that once it started to drop, I told you there's an indication from another indicator that I have that it could be in an hour or two. I told you about an hour to about an hour and 15 minutes that it was indicating to me that it was going to go up. This is before it happened, way before it happened, an hour and 15 minutes before. And it happened exactly when I told you it started to move. All right, because I could see it from my other indicator. So I'm telling you what's going to happen in the future in about an hour away. And there was going to be a movement up. And it's what happened as soon as it did what it was going to do, and what it was, my indicators were saying exactly what happened. Now I'm looking at it again, and the reason I'm telling you this is because I'm not going to be able to stay here. There's a couple scenarios here. If it stays as it is right now, if it stabilizes, all right, and all you see is a movement, a support level that continues to move up and down, then that means they're waiting for it's basically waiting for the opening bell to see what happens in the opening bell. And you can see the movement. Now, if you start seeing the candlesticks going up in it could start to move in the next hour. You could see a movement upwards, and you may see a sharp movement upwards. All right. At this point in time, you may see either way. You may see a movement upward or downward because the way is that. I can't tell you what the other indicators because you can't show you to. But it's showing to me in about an hour. You may be seeing a movement up on here, but it's not showing me the support level that I need to say for certain that it's going to move up. It's not showing me. It's right now at about, if I had to put it in percentage of movement upwards, I will put it at about between 65 to 75% chance that there will be a movement upwards in about an hour from now. All right. But that's, like I said, it's not. The reason I'm saying that is because it's not solid. The support level is not a solid support level. All right, and it's also a possibility that it could go down, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. If I was here on the air live in about an hour from now, and one of my indicators that is still moving was at the right place, and I can tell you with certainty there will be like an 85-90% movement upwards. It's not there, and the indicator that I have is not because, like I said, these are my indicators. It's not giving me that. All right, it's not showing me that. So we leave it like that. So that's why I have to tell you maybe between like 65 or 60 to 70 chance of a movement upward now, based on what I'm seeing now on this stuff. All right, but even that's not guaranteed. It could always fall. And we can also see what happens on the opening bell on that. Make a channel that is all about stock. Well, this channel here can be about stocks, and it can be about Bitcoin and all this kind of stuff. So I can probably do that. All right, we'll see what happens down the road here. I'm just right now we're testing these different channels, see where more people want to support. Do they want Bitcoin? Do they want cryptocurrency stocks or options or whatever, and see where it goes, and then I can come out here and talk about it and do a show on that and see where it goes. All right, it all depends on the supporters out there and see how that goes. So it's like a first show here for this live talk stuff. So anyway, Blue 6 and anybody else who's joined me out here today, thank you guys for coming out here. And it's been an interesting day for this stuff. And let's see if YouTube one day allows me to have more than one person out here. And we can get more people to see this, if you know what I mean. All right, so, and people start, once you see this, if it comes out on your if you see it in the archives, don't forget to donate and don't forget to become a member. Subscribe to the channel. And any kind of donation is appreciated. Yeah, I put down the donation over 100. I will do a free pick for you because it takes time for me to find a good pick. All right, a lot of time for me. All right, so that's why it has to be at least that. But in the meantime, you can donate $5 or anything just to help out the channel, whatever you want. Anything out there, you guys, it's appreciated. So anyway, thank you and good morning there. Blue 6. So you have a good morning, good night, and I will see you maybe back, and we'll see. Maybe I'll recap this back tomorrow at around the same time that I got in today, and see what happened with the Bitcoin. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, have a good one, and I will see you. God bless you, and I hope you feel better. All right, see you. Bye bye. And just when I lost my my intro. Here we go. Wait a minute. I think I have it. Yeah, I'm gonna. I wasn't ready. One thing I wasn't ready for, my intro. I have a closing intro and I don't have it on this one because I did this on the run today. So anyway, you guys have a good one, and I will see you. And I'll figure out what happened to the music and why it keeps going off and doesn't stay on. So anyway, I'll see you. Have a good one. Bye.